All right, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome serious feedback, guys. Welcome serious feedback, guys. Welcome serious feedback. All right, it's just me and you guys, and till we can figure this out, we got all kind of technical issues. I love it. So just smoke them if you got them. We'll try to get this figured out in shake of a gnat's tail.
Reject donation from Sam Hain.
Okay, do I got you in BALLBUSTERS Discord?
Yeah.
Copy that.
We had some
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. We had some technical difficulties. Does anyone have the stream up? How's it going?
No echoes going on here in Discord, but at BALLBUSTERS, yeah, there were definitely some major feedback loops going on.
We got Yep. So I cut it short. We don't need the BALLBUSTERS intro. Something happened, and I don't know what as of right now, but looks like we're good. Is the audience hearing us? Give a big check mark out there. Check the chat.
56 watching currently. People seem to be enthusiastic still.
All right. Sorry about that, guys.
Sounds good.
So something happened. I don't know what. Who cares? Welcome to the show. If you guys want to support this channel, there are PayPal and Patreon links in the info box below. Also, remember, this is BALLBUSTERS, and the audience is begging for a reasoned discussion, not a second grade playground testosterone saturated over talking dumpster fire, where nothing is established or affirmed, save for noise and utter chaos. Everyone entering the BALLBUSTERS Discord voice chat is clean slated. That means any bad history between guests and panel members will be put aside and not spoken of. There are 3 zero tolerance rules. Number 1, no ad homs, that is, attacking the man or woman in lieu of the argument. Number 2, no scattergunning. One topic at a time. Each will be exhausted to conclusion before moving to the next. Be prepared to support every claim. And number 3, be polite. Speak slowly and coherently. If any of these 3 are violated, you will be server muted immediately, then kicked from the BALLBUSTERS voice chat. There is a link to the BALLBUSTERS Discord voice chat in the info box below, along with what I just read out to you. So if you'd like to join, you are more than welcome. Today we're going to be talking about, first, the Bolivian salt flats, and secondly, the black swan. BALLBUSTERS, assemble! What's up, guys?
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Hello there. How's everybody doing?
Yo. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good night.
We have a few BALLBUSTERS currently out in MIA for various personal reasons, but that's okay. They promised me they'd still listen in, and they're keeping track. I hope they weren't keeping track of the intro.
Yeah, that was a bit glitchy
You
over
probably
there.
did. You got a super chat, by the way. It's from Sam Hein, and he says, "Epic fail."
Thanks, Sam. What are friends for?
Yeah.
Too funny, man. So, what's the word on the street? Have you guys heard any more of rebuttals against the Black Swan? Anything?
No, they're just saying that it's apparent now there's no geometric horizon anymore.
Welcome to Flat Earth.
Actually, it's been kind of funny to hear how the geometric horizon they've been fighting for all these years is now a straw man. A little weird to me, being that that's what their model requires. I don't understand how it would be a straw man, but yeah, that's kind of silly to me. But it's a nice, funny rebuttal as far as I'm concerned, because other than, oh, we've never seen the geometric horizon and we've never claimed the geometric horizon is physical and all these, John, when you put all the responses, the possible rebuttals to the Black Swan argument, a lot of these are the rebuttals that we have heard, I never thought I'd hear. So to me, it's just funny when they say, "Oh, the Black Swan means nothing." Like, guys, you haven't realized that Black Swan has made you completely change your argument. And if you don't think that's devastating, then you're not even aware of what's going on around you. Yeah, I'm done.
Yep. The Black Swan storm. And yeah, all the ballers are just flip-flopping all of a sudden, like, oh, we never claimed any geometrical curvature. No, yeah, we know the horizon is apparent. Why are you trying to strawman us? Oh, yeah. We're just gonna ignore everything that's happened in the past, like business as usual, for a bunch of liars, almost professional liars, hobbyist liars. You don't know if they're actually being paid for it, but they definitely are fanatical about it, what they do, about their craft within their religion of the globe. Everything goes when the globe is involved. So, yeah.
Dr.
Exactly
John D, how's it going, sir? I know what the problem was. Dr. John D joined. That's what the problem with the intro was. I got you.
He's on deaf and mute, so how could that be?
Betty, we don't need any additional information?
Yeah, we do.
No, he
I got
wasn't.
another super chat for you, by the way.
Go ahead.
And that's from Emma UK, and she says, shout out to all the panel and the chat, and then a wink. So,
hey, thanks, Emma.
Shout out to Emma.
All right, like I said
yeah,
today,
a lot more ladies on the scene, right? A lot more ladies chiming in on Discord, having own servers and stuff. Good, right?
there is Emma and Crystal Surreal also starting up a new channel. And you're right. Thanks for reminding me, Betty. Yes, there is a lot of new startups here. And it's going to be exciting over the next few weeks, months, and years.
Years?
Years.
I thought we could go home by now because the globe has been destroyed.
Well, we're going to have to stand fast, right? Stand at the door because they're going to try to weasel their way back in the door. But it's more of a almost like guard duty, not attack anymore because the ball's dead. If you're not aware of it, I don't know what to tell you. You must be delusional. It like I said, it could take about 9 months. I've recently upped my speculation to 12 months, and Chocolate has 14 months, if I'm not mistaken, before the ballers even understand the argument. Am I correct?
Yeah, but I might have been lowballing myself, so I don't know. As I hear the progression of the rebuttals, I'm starting to think, no, I might have to up that from 14 to, I don't know. I don't know. Might have to throw another 3-4 months on that. So
You don't have to worry about that. When 10th Man starts his cooking channel, that'll be the indicator.
You're gonna do you're gonna pull a Julia Childs on us.
No, I'm gonna pull a Grand Care on you with a glass of wine.
Oh, goodness, cut the dickens out of my finger. Too funny, man. All right.
Is it like the cook in what was it? In that show, the Muppet Show, right?
Nah, that was Saturday Night Live with Dan Aykroyd.
Okay, yeah, but I have a vision with Tenth being like that cook on the Muppet Show with these utensils and then flying through the air.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Too funny. Nathan Oakley, sir. Radio check. All is well here. Make sure you sign up to Nathan Oakley 1980.
Well, I think this is the most quiet Nathan Oakley that we ever heard.
Lost 3. This is 1. Lost 1. This is. Are you lost 2 over? Yeah.
He's still in the trenches, I think.
We may be having some technical difficulties, is what I'm suspecting.
You might have got trapped behind the geometric horizon.
That's what I was figuring too.
It gives a lost signal.
Or some spontaneous family issues, you know?
Yeah, I got you. I'm tracking. Yep. All right, guys, we ready to roll?
Sure.
Yep, let's get it going.
All right. And just to let you know, I found the problem with the echoes. So I got it covered. All right. So
Well,
we're not going to talk about it. Before we get to the Black Swan, the #1 ball killer, let's talk about the Bolivian salt flats. All right. And as you can see here, if, like I said before, if you made a bucket list and this isn't on it, you might be wrong. This is absolutely breathtaking. And the background of my avatar, I chose it for a reason. Absolutely gorgeous, right? Love it. My traveling days are more or less over, but if they should ever start up again, this is going to be #1 or #2 on my list. So, what's the big deal, right? Well, according to the heliocentric, sun-worshipping, spinning ball space monkey religion, every point along a tangent in every direction from your feet drops. That is, vertical drops away from you at 8 inches per mile squared. From Borsa, topography of the Salar. The Salar del Uyuni, in the Bolivian Andes, is the largest salt flat on Earth, exhibiting less than 1 meter of vertical relief over an area of 9,000 squared kilometers. Is that going to be a problem? Sounds like it's going to be a problem right off from Jump Street, right? You know what he's talking about? He's talking about a geometrical flat plane. You can have a myriad of topographical features on a sphere: mountain, ridges, saddles, spurs, depressions, etc. You know what you can't have? A geometrical flat plane. Can't have that on a sphere, folks. And this one is over 9,000 square kilometers. Therefore, how can ballers stage 5 cling with a kung fu death grip to their fairy tale religion that has one of its foundational tenets, vertical drop, and yet at the same time have a flat plane with less than 1 meter vertical drop over 9,000 square kilometers, pray tell? If you haven't been listening closely, that's the violation or a violation of the law of non-contradiction. For an encore, can they reconcile married bachelors for us also? This is real simple and easy to reconcile, folks. Ready? The ball tar position. According to the heliocentric, sun-worshipping, spinning ball space monkey religion, every point along a tangent, like I said above, in every direction from your feet drops. That is, vertical drops away from you at 8 inches per mile squared. So, vertical drop. The study, the Salar in the Bolivian Andes is the largest salt flat on Earth, exhibiting less than 1 meter of vertical relief. over an area of 9,000 square kilometers. So, no vertical drop. See the problem? Violation of the law of non-contradiction again. See figure 4, we're going to take a look at that here in a second. It shows 100 kilometers, that is 62 miles, north to south of the solar with less than 1 meter vertical drop. Let's take a look at it. This is the study from the Geophysical Journal International. Let me scroll down here. So from alpha, as you can see here, to alpha prime is 100 kilometers. Should be no question about that. Cut and dry. So the spinning ball religion, 100 kilometers, 62 miles. The vertical drop is 781 meters. The Bolivian salt flats, as we just looked at, 100 kilometers, 62 miles. The vertical drop is what? Less than 1 meter. Uh-oh. Modus tollens, if P then Q, not Q, therefore not P. If the Earth is a sphere with a radius of 3959 miles, P, then there must be a measurable 781 meters of vertical drop over every 100 kilometer section of Earth traversed. Q. Not Q, because we don't measure 781 meters of vertical drop over 100 kilometers of the solar. Therefore not P. The Earth is not a sphere. Alice in Wonderland is more tenable than the ball-tard spinning space monkey religion. The prosecution rests. Simple. You live in a fairy tale. The end. Questions, comments?
Oh, I have a remark, if I may, for a second. Right, so yeah, there's this thing about the Bolivian salt flats. You know, they're flat.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, they're flat.
Rest my case.
How do you have salt flats on a sphere? Geometrical sphere. How do you have salt flats? And how many salt flats are there? I mean, how many flat plains do we have? How many states in the United States are considered the flattest or some of the flattest? I mean, how do you have so many flat areas on a ball? I mean, I'm done. Like, it's ridiculous. I don't even have to say anything after that.
Just the natural consequences of how reflections would work. Looking over the Bolivian salt flats, you know?
Right.
It's a perfect mirror. It's a perfect it's like a perfect reflection. It's symmetrical. It's a symmetrical reflection of the sky. If the Earth was a geometrical sphere, that is not possible. It would not look like that. It would be bent. It would be curved like bent. What you see, the reflection.
Hey,
and you don't.
Cut on the specular reflections. That's a whole show by itself. Go on. Move on to the next point.
Yeah, but I do agree with Arvin, right? It wouldn't look like that.
Yeah, he's correct. But it's a cut because that's another show on specular reflections. We're just rolling with the measurements that they made of less than 1 meter.
Overlap.
Hey, I'm just an early bird, you know. Hey, it's episode 33.
But I'm bump. 10th's gonna love that.
Yeah, the Bolivian salt curves. Is that what it's called?
Flats.
No, flats. I think Arvin was right on there. Flat is flat.
Nathan, sir, any thoughts on the solar? That was deep. Betty, thoughts on the solar?
Thoughts on the solar? Well, what Arvin said, yeah, that's a thing. And Dan said it correctly. It is not called the curve solar, right? So there must be something happening there.
Yeah, it's not the salt bulge.
Tony, sir, any thoughts on the Bolivian salt flats?
they're going to come back and say it's oblate, it's not curved, and that'll be just a flat spot on a curve because we can have flat spots on an oblate spheroid. So they'll say your Q is a straw man, or a red herring, or a non sequitur, or a logical fallacy. So let's address the arguments for why Q would not be a fallacious position. They're going to say it's just a flat spot on a sphere.
You
That
can't
would make it not a sphere then, right?
Well, I would say that, well, where does the
Just
curve
checking.
then get made back up? Because it has to be made back up somewhere, right?
I mean, if it's a sphere, then it's one ugly sphere. I don't know what's going on here, man. All these flat spots, but we're shown a perfectly beautiful, magical spinning water ball. Well, we're shown pictures from the region that can't exist. That's a little weird. But I don't know.
Well, they say that
Yeah.
they look like a little golf ball, right? With these dents in them, some places.
we're a golf ball with dents in them.
Yeah, these flat things on these spheres, right? We have these balls that they use. I think it's in midget golf and in other things.
That explains my hook.
You say midget golf?
Did you say
I think
midget
it's
golf?
Yeah, midget golf. And we have these golf balls.
It's,
that
I think it's mini golf.
They have
Speaking of
midget. Do they have midget golf in the Netherlands?
Yeah, we
Are there a
call
lot
that
of
midget golf.
midgets?
It's. Oh, come on.
Don't make
It's
fun
for
of midget
small-
guys. Come on.
It's for small.
Don't tell
The streaming
John.
video.
Don't tell me you've not heard of midget golf before. We've got two of the world professionals in this discussion. We've got George Netanyahu, he's a midget, and we've got Jeff Panda, he's also a midget, but they both happen to be world champions at a former point in their previous life.
Getting kind of septic, guys.
That's okay.
Yeah, I think
Our
we should.
knows what midget golf is.
miniature golf.
We call it midget.
No, it's just a style of golf. I don't know. I like it. You know,
Yeah, it's cute, right?
miniature
don't
golf.
have to
It's
walk
almost
these
like
long
Legoland. It's the golf of Lego. It's the Legoland of golf.
That's lovely. We're gonna deal with midget golf in the Netherlands on the next show.
No, it was about the balls of the midget golf, of the miniature golf, whatever.
All right. Any final thoughts on the Solar?
That's beautiful, and I would like to visit it myself. I'm rooting it because there's lithium-based things in there, so it will be gone in a couple of years.
It's got to be worth giving Tim a mention because Tim's done some Bolivians. Isn't it the Bolivian salt flats that he does? He makes claims on. I'm sure it's the Bolivian salt flats.
No.
If it's not, forgive me, but
Nope, it's not. He does something up in Utah.
oh right, okay. So what? Well, okay. That's in that case. Then Tim retracted.
Outstanding.
I
Outstanding.
like your mod.
What
I like your
about,
modest Tollens on it, though. Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the first thing I was going to say was Modus Tollens strikes again.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So what we're gonna do before we get to the Black Swan, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna open it up, the BALLBUSTERS VC, to anyone that has any questions, claims, or rebuttals to the Bolivian salt flats. Remember the rules. You can go ahead and read them down below in the info box if you're unsure of them again. Okay? So, Righteous, you just go from the top to the bottom,
All right.
please, sir.
I guess we got Haribo, but I'm not sure if he's a speaker, but let's try him out. Haribo, you there? Okay, moving on. We got Looming. Looming, are you there? Okay, moving on. We got Oblivion.
Got nothing.
We got a lot of tumbleweeds here. It seems.
So you got nothing at Oblivion? Okay, moving on
Yeah.
to Cool Dog Bear. Bulldog Bear.
I-
You got anything to add?
Yeah, we can hear you.
No
What's up,
problems.
Bulldog?
Can you hear?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, Bolivian salt flats says it all, doesn't it? Really.
Yep.
All right. I guess moving on to Earl. Earl, you there?
Yep. I think the other salt flat you're probably talking about is the Bonneville salt flats, where they do the speed test for the world's fastest cars.
I think you might be right, Professor Earl. He might. Timmy's the Bonneville Salt Flats. Is that in Utah?
No, that's in California, I think,
Really?
if I'm mistaken.
It doesn't matter
I
anyway.
could be wrong, which I'm okay with being wrong.
All right. I guess moving on to Redman. Redman, you there?
I'm at work. Kind of tough. Sorry.
It's all right. And we also got Marlene Effect. You there?
Hi.
Hello?
I don't really have anything to say about the flats because I know they're there. So I came in when you guys just got finished talking about it. So, you know, nothing's flatter than that, is it? I'm good. I'm good.
Nope.
I like to know the conversation first, you know? Like, I don't know what your question you were asking about the salt flats.
Just all we were asking are any questions, claims, or rebuttals to the salt flats that have less than 1 meter vertical relief over 62 miles or 100 kilometers.
Sweet. No, I think it's awesome that you guys are talking about this because there's not just one salt flat, right? There's like a lot of them around.
Yes.
I shouldn't say around, through, you know, on our beautiful Earth.
Language.
I know. I don't know how to say it without saying it.
It's so tough, isn't it? Because they got to us everywhere. They spoon fed us all the globe language, and it's become a second habit by accident. It's just all slipped in there.
I know. Even when you try to say the word, I don't even like the word world. Even when you do the sign language for it, it's the two W's and you're making an actual world in the air, right? It's yeah.
Don't worry about it. It's okay to drop the ball on this show.
Great. Well, anyway, I'm a pilot. I've been a pilot for over 30 years. The people in here that don't know me, I've always been a flat earther. None of this. You know, I had a friend of mine. Well, she ended up being a friend because of this topic. I met her on another panel where she clued in. She was flying and she was flying with her co-pilot and their jump pilot. And she brought up that conversation about, you know, doesn't everything, you know, it's flat. Like it's like it dawned on her, right? Her name was Lydia. We were on a panel with Sun and Moon at the time. And before she even got to landing, they had a psychologist waiting for her. She ended up being grounded and she's been flying for over 27 years. And now she's in an office job because they think, you know, she's cuckoo because she brought up that we live on a flat earth. So that's one of the things that we face at our job.
Right. Well, that is a risk, you know. If you're gonna have your moment of awakening, it's best not to do it on working ground. Try to condense it for a moment until you're off work, and then and then let it hit you. So yeah, that's my personal advice. Don't, like, when you suddenly realize something like this, like the earth may be flat, don't like go and break right there on the spot in the middle of work or something. Don't make yourself look crazy. Just let it compact it, put it to the back of your mind, and just keep on working until you're done. And then when you're back home, then find a good, sensible way to let it out.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, I'm pretty
That's
sure
just
she
crazy.
got overwhelmed, eh? She got overwhelmed by this truth that hit her in the face. And so she was like, but she thought she could trust, you know, she was fine with that guy, I think for over 10 years or something. He was her co-pilot. So it's more like she thought she had trust. You know, it's kind of sad.
Are you
Is she the
saying
one?
So she had. I mean, they literally had psychologists waiting
Oh
on
yeah,
the
yeah. He was
ground.
waiting, and when she went in there, well, where she works, right? Like it's a huge. Like when you work in a big airport, they do have people because sometimes you do need someone to talk to when you're flying all the time. Just to let things out, and then you do have to have a psychological evaluation every year. Some people make their pilots have it every 6 months, but I know for me it was just every once a year, right? So yeah, they're there, and
Because she
they
was
already
up
made up their
there
mind. They
and
already
Is
made
just
up
she
their
said
mind that
it's
she was going to be
flat.
grounded before that.
is she the one
Wow.
that was on Mark Sargent's show one
Yes,
time?
yeah.
Ah,
It was
it,
me, her, and another
I think she lives in the same
butter.
country as I do.
Oh,
Right?
really? It was that
Yeah,
same
she's quite
lady?
interesting.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
I remember her name.
I
Wow.
did hear her
Lydia, yeah.
story before.
Yeah, and it's sad because she even said to the psychologist, he already had everything written down before she started even talking, and she said, "You already decided my fate to gonna happen, right?" Because it doesn't matter what she said after that. She was already grounded.
Wow. Yeah. Narrow-minded people, huh? Or
Marlena?
they
Did
try to stop something.
Marlena?
Well,
Did you say you were a commercial pilot yourself?
Once upon a time, not anymore.
Tracking with you. So is the Earth flat or a sphere from where you're looking?
I have never in my life seen anything that even resembles a curve. Not only that, I never have to correct myself for any kind of a curve. When we're flying, we have to, when you're flying straight and level, which obviously that tells you, right? You have to make sure your nose and your wings are lined up to the horizon. And you have to learn this first, right? You have to learn this before instrument rating. For people that don't know this, you have to learn how to be on a straight and level sky itself.
How can that
You know,
be if the horizon is apparent or geometric or whatever sort of
well, you
horizon?
line it up with your window, right? Like when you're flying, you line up the horizon perfectly with your window, and then you look around and you make sure it's lined up to your wing. I'm talking small aircraft right now at this moment, just so you guys get a better visual. I never have to correct, because if I had to correct for 8 inch per mile square that people talk about, even making a slight adjustment like that, I would go into a nosedive.
Hmm.
That's a big adjustment, 8 inches.
Now, not only the curve, Marlena, but what about the rotation? Any adjustments there?
Nothing. No. And, we calculated it one time, and it would take us, say, if we were going against the curve, no matter where you wanted to go on the quote unquote planet, would take 27 minutes. And if you were going against with the spin or turn, whatever you want to call it, you would never get to your destination.
It's very simple, isn't it?
It is.
You know when you said that you'd line the horizon up with your window, which horizon would you line up with your window? The real horizon or the apparent horizon?
The apparent horizon.
Ah.
You have to learn to fly without instruments because of obviously for emergency reasons. Because a lot of times, your instruments can get messed up from anything. Could be a storm up there. Could be some kind of a magnetic thing somewhere that messes up your horizon. Because we have that problem here in a place in Canada where when you fly over it, automatically your instruments just like all go loopy, right? So you have to trust your eyes and your own judgment and know that you're actually flying level. The smallest little, even a half an inch mistake that you make could make you crash, right? You have to be very aware that you're flying level.
Marlena, I'd like you to help us out too. We're having a pretty big discussion here in on the circuit about how many horizons there actually are. When you're flying at 30,000, 35,000 feet, how many horizons you actually see?
It depends on the day. If we have overcast, then you have to use the horizon basically in the distance on the clouds. If it's flat clouds, it's really hard that way, but usually it's what you see, and you can see that on the skyscraper. What we have to look at, it's not hard.
So you either see it or you don't. That's basically it.
Yeah, well, it's not hard to see.
It's
right
not
out
that you
there.
see 3 horizons.
Do
right?
you see 3 or more horizons?
No, I don't. I see one horizon when I fly.
Thank
I don't
you.
know where 3 would come into. And this is another thing, like what you guys were just saying. When people talk about this curve that they see, they only talk about this curve they see in front of them. Well, if you see a curve in front of you, you're going to have to see it all around you. And I never hear anybody say that. Yeah, I see the curve right in front of me, but what about it on the side of you or behind you? You know what I mean? Like, you're just not going to have a horizon, a curve in front of you, right? Just doesn't make sense to me.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. We're going to be dealing with
You're welcome.
horizons
Thank
here.
you.
We're going to be dealing with horizons here over the next 10 to 15 minutes, so stay tuned. Righteous, anyone else?
We got God's Capital, maybe. I'm not sure. Let me try. You there, God's Capital?
Yeah, I'm here. Hey, I got a quick question for Marlena, if I can, since you guys have been talking about flights.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Hey, how's it going, Marlena?
Hi, long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a while. Hey, I got a guy I talked to on here. I won't name who. People will probably know who I'm talking about when I bring this up, but he tends to think that the HUD's heads-up display is a proof of ball or curvature somehow or another. I was just curious from a pilot perspective, how you feel about that and what you think about heads-up display.
I don't see how that would even. I don't understand his reasoning with that being proof of a globe.
I think
don't understand.
if I understand his argument right, the idea that your horizon line on the heads-up display is below the actual visible horizon.
No, it's not. It's lined up perfectly. There's no above or below it at all.
That's interesting because that's what he's saying, is that when you're flying level below the horizon, the line on the window.
No.
Interesting.
That's the whole point of having a line. If it
Well,
was below, then you would have to do it below that. You know what I mean?
That's what I would think, but I'm not a pilot, so that's why I'm asking you, someone from a different perspective.
Yeah, because you have your regular horizon you see in front of you, and then you have your artificial horizon, right? Which is also just a level. You're just making your level go level with the other lines and the little tiny instrument. You know. But no, that doesn't. I don't even understand why he would think that.
Well, if you knew the guy, you would maybe understand better. But anyhow, I'll leave it at that. Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for the info.
Yes, he's an entropist.
Yep.
I have a question for Marlena.
Shoot.
Hey, Marlena. Did you fly internationally or domestically?
Yes, I have. I used to do flights from Canada down through Australia. I've flown before overseas, but basically on our side. But I used to go over once in a while. And then anytime I went like over there anyway, I would always, as soon as I tell someone I'm a pilot, they let me sit in the jump seat. So I was able to see other things.
So what's the length of flight from Canada to Australia? How long did it take?
It took us a long time. We had a lot of layovers. It was 27 hours. But it was with layovers, right?
Okay. So from your viewpoint, at the elevation you were at, whether 30 to 40,000 feet, wherever you are,
right?
What does the Earth look like to you compared to the map of the globe that they keep putting in front of us?
Well, see, we use a flat map. We don't use something that looks like what your regular road map looks like. We have a map that just basically it's like a traffic, a highway in the sky, right? So all you're seeing is straight lines. But up there, if you're talking about visually, what do I see? It looks exactly the same to me anyway, at 30,000 than 15,000. It looks the same. Like I don't see any different.
Go back to your flat map. That's where I want to go. So you have a flat map that you go by.
Right. It's a highway, right? Just picture a map that just has all lines on it. So you have a highway in the sky. You have to follow the highway. That's why you see the same planes going in the same spots. Like not everyone's like all over the sky. We have to
Right.
follow this because there's a lot of no-fly zones, right?
Sure. So you've got, for example, I saw where planes going to Europe had to be on this side, and then planes coming back from Europe to America had to be on this side. So they would just not, collide, obviously, and they have to be a different elevation, something like that, right?
Right. And I never understood, even as a young pilot and all these years of flying, I never understood why they would have mock airplanes. What they do is they have airplanes flying that aren't really there. I never understood why they used to do that.
What do you mean?
Okay, say if you look at the planes flying, you can look it on online or whatever. You see, air traffic. They'll throw in a few planes that aren't really there. Like I never understood that.
So you mean the
like on
you
the
mean
radar, or
Yeah, not on the radar, on the computer itself.
You
I
mean
suppose
the-
it would be part of the radar.
so
You mean
enough like official routes, as it were, that are virtual.
Right.
Really?
And
Are
they
you-
throw planes. Yeah, I never understood why they did that.
But
Are
do
you
they
talking
still
about-
register on the GPS? Does GPS comply with that?
Well, I would tell you something about GPS. GPS has absolutely nothing to do with satellite. When I wanted to make money when I was younger, we used to be part of the data processing for that. And all they do is they just hire people to punch in coordinates for a computer application. So there's no satellites. They're just going by people's information that they put in there. And I know that
Are-
for a fact.
Are you referencing the flight tracker that you can follow a relative's flight as they leave LAX or something, that you can watch
Right.
where they are? That's what you're referencing?
Yes.
And they would put mock airplane flights on those things?
Right. I never understood that. I don't know, maybe it's the
Very-
military, who knows? I never understood that. And I bring it up because I know a lot of you guys, even though you're not pilots, you still know what an airplane looks like, and you still see them in your sky. And like maybe you've heard of it before where they have these planes that aren't really there.
I have a final question for you. I was recently on a private plane from
Ooh.
Southern California to Northern California. It took about 45 minutes.
Nice.
Once the pilot got up to level flight, he went on autopilot, so to speak, and
Right.
the elevation or altitude never changed, and the speed never changed. So it's pretty much hands-free flying, right?
Right. Yeah.
So there's nothing built in to make the plane adjust for any particular situations, just staying constantly
No.
level.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right, thank you.
And you think it would, right? You constantly be seeing it correcting itself. The only thing it really corrects for is, say, when you get a side stream coming, it'll correct for that. It'll stay, straight that way. But the up and down, no. Even if it hits turbulence, it bounces right back up to where it's supposed to be.
Can,
All right.
Can I ask you a question?
Quickly, last question.
All right. Right. So, yeah, you seem to be a very insightful person, very studied up on things going on. Like, you have an insight. So, I wonder, do you think that the Earth is a disk? What do you think the orientation of the equator is,
Well,
from what you've seen?
my story's a little different because I come from a tribe. It's called Micmac tribe here in Eastern Canada. And we're taught from a very young age that we live on a very flat, never-ending land. So, or I shouldn't say land, but area. I don't know if I'd be good for answering that question, so I apologize. I don't personally think it is. And what we've been taught, no, it's not. It's like there's lands farther away, and we're taught about those. We're taught about our ancestors sending other races of man that way. So.
Nathan,
Wow.
Nathan, did you have something to ask her?
Nathan wants to fight with me. I've been on panels with Nathan before.
I do have a question.
Wait a second. You've been on panels.
I'll be back. I'll be right back. Someone's at my door. Hang on.
All right. Well, Nathan, was that you trying to ask a question?
Several times. It's all good. I haven't been able to get a word in, but everyone's asked all the things I wanted to ask, so don't worry.
All right, sir. Anthony, did you have anything to ask her?
I do, but she's away, so let her come back and then I'll ask it. It's a 3-part question. It's the same question, but with 3 different scenarios.
That's great.
But-
that shouldn't take that long.
No, it's one question, but with you'll see. It's to do with like flying nose up. If you're flying nose up, my belief or my view on the way planes work, the way I understand it, is that they can fly nose up at different speeds, and they can either fall, maintain their altitude, or climb just by controlling the speed, like without changing the orientation of the plane. So the faster you travel, say your nose up for like half a degree, just by changing your velocity, can you descend even though your nose up? Can you maintain your altitude even though your nose up? And obviously, if you put more power, can you then start climbing just by controlling your speed, your velocity?
All right, Marlena, are you back?
Because I think that the airline pilot guy that's on Discord, I've blocked him because I just think he's dishonest. I think that you can get your plane to fly nose up, but dial down your velocity so that you're falling out the sky, even though your nose up. I think that you'll be able to keep your nose up position, but descend because of your speed. I might be wrong, but I don't know any other pilots to ask, so that's why I wanted to ask the question.
Yeah, we know about that guy. He couldn't make a paper airplane and fly it. I know who you're talking about. He's a wingnut.
I think he falsifies his video footage to support the assertion that he always flies nose up, but he can fly nose up but descend as well. And I'm like, yeah, that'll be controlled by speed.
Yeah. Hey, Betty, any admin so we can roll after this?
Not yet. No admin.
All right. Thank you.
I got before Marlene. Is Marlena back?
Yeah,
yet?
there is. Sorry, there is. I forgot. There's a super chat from Tony Marks. And it says, aren't salt flats formed from dried up bodies of water and minerals are left behind? So when the water dries up, it loses its curve, or it's never had a curve to begin with? Question mark.
Yes,
So that's-
and specifically the Bolivian salt flats, if I'm not mistaken, they are flooded themselves. As you can see in my avatar and some of the pictures that go by here that have the salar in the background, I think it stays flooded most years for 9 months, if I'm not mistaken. It's only about, I think, 3 or 4 inches. So, yeah. Yep. All right.
Okay. And we got another admin from Sandmine, and he says, admin.
Thanks, Sam. Appreciate that, man. Hey, Marlena, are you back? All right.
She's still on mute.
All right. Yep. Let's just hold off. Anthony, can you write those questions down and we'll get to them at the end?
Yeah,
all right?
and I got it. That's cool. Yeah.
Sorry, my headset died, so I'm kind of like, I kind of hear you guys. Whoever was saying if they exhilarate, right, and just keep going, you go up. No, that's not true. You have to pull your nose up to go up.
Yeah. So can you change your actual ascent or descent just by velocity, or do you have to pitch the plane?
You have to pitch your plane.
Right. Oh, maybe he's not been faking something. Okay, no worries. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry about that, you guys.
Hey, Nathan.
One big thing increasing at elevation. Could you just decrease speed? Wouldn't it still require you to decrease speed to descend, though? In other words, if you were going around a drop and dropping, you'd still have to scrub off that height. In other words, you'd have to descend, and therefore you'd have to, if that was the method you chose, you'd have to reduce speed to do so, right?
Yeah, but yeah, I'm sorry, I can't hear him very well. As you can hear over here, it's loud. Sorry.
It's fair enough. Don't worry.
Would you like him to ask?
Hopefully you guys aren't done yet.
Would you like him to ask you the question again?
No, I want to get my headset ready because I can't hear and it's not fair to you guys to get a good answer.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Shouldn't take long.
We can hit you up at the end after the Black Swan presentation. I'm sure that people have many questions for you.
Thank you. Yeah, sure. No problem.
Outstanding.
Hey, the best interference is baby interference.
Hey, Anthony.
Yo.
Snobby people always fly nose up, by the way.
Yeah.
I resemble. I resemble.
What do we got? Do we got some mic discipline issues here?
Paul has some issues. He's roboting.
Pray silence, please. This is Black Swan now.
It's Black Swan time. Go ahead and put your mics on mute. Thank you very much. The Black Swan. Tell you what, this guy's it's sending people over the edge. I'm loving every minute of it. Let's start out with the foundation of the argument. It's the horizon. Let's define it, shall we? I got from Wiki, from Merriam-Webster, and Oxford dictionaries right here. Let's take a look. The horizon is the apparent line that separates Earth from sky. Horizon, the line where the Earth seems to meet the sky. The apparent junction of Earth and sky sailing toward the horizon. Horizon, the line at which the Earth's surface and the sky appear to meet. Hopefully everyone understands this. If you're unsure, let's read a couple more. From the United States DoD, Department of Defense, horizon. In general, the apparent or visible junction of the Earth and sky, as seen from any specific position, also called the apparent, visible, or local horizon. Uh-oh. Local horizon from National Geographic. What's that? Also called the geometrical horizon, is the visible boundary between the Earth and the sky. Huh. Everyone seems to be talking about the same thing, doesn't it? Why is it apparent or not actually? Well, number one is well, duh, because does the Earth and sky actually meet? No, they do not, making it apparent by definition. Number two, the geometric horizon is also apparent. Why? Because it's variable with the observer's height. What can obstruct or obfuscate or obscure the geometric horizon? Weather, atmosphere, waves, tides, etc. The horizon can never be more than. That's very important. I think a lot of people are misunderstanding this. The horizon can never be more than 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. Now, it can be closer than 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet due to the above or aforementioned conditions, weather, atmospheric, waves, and tides. Everyone understand that? It can be before. It can never extend beyond its geometric constraints. Like I'm going to tell you right now. However, on the ball-tard ball, the geometric horizon can be no more than what its geometric constraints allow, based on observer's height and the radius. From Andrew Thomas Young, San Diego State University, Astronomy Department, subject matter expert. If h is in meters, that makes the distance to the geometric horizon 3.57 kilometers times the square root of the height of the eye in meters, or about 1.23 miles times the square root of the eye height in feet. Everyone understand that? I'm going to stop right here. Questions and comments concerning the horizon?
Explain what just geometric means, please, Quantum Eraser.
Say that one more time, Nathan.
Can you explain what geometric actually means?
Geometric actually means? Yes, it is the actual construction of the sphere Earth. That means it's physical. Good.
That's the word I was looking for. So it's describing the physicality.
Yes, sir.
Are things that are refracted geometric?
No.
Thank you. That's all I've got.
Arwen, comments, questions? Thank you, Arwen. Anthony, comments, questions?
Shane Rushton was in chat before. I'd really like Shane Rushton to join so we could have a conversation. I'd like to see what his position is. He bullies me with the intellectual superiority complex. I'd like to see how you explain this Black Swan Horizon issue, Shane. So if you're still in chat and you're not hiding, join. If not, I still don't think that most ballers understand the argument because they can't recite it. I've heard one or two of them get it right or get close enough. But if you can't recite it the way that it's written, how can we take you seriously? Most ballers are not there yet. They're still not there. Flat Earthers are getting there. In my experience, I've found that most of us on our side are beginning to recite it accurately because they've just read it off the numerous times it's been presented. And when that happens, it allows us to have the conversation where at least we understand that we're all getting it. Now, it takes time for us to get there. Everybody gets that. But we're all getting there. And it puts us in a really strong position. It is a great argument. It's a great proof. It's a great position for us to hold. But ballers are still not getting it. And if they're not getting it, how can we have a conversation? Come on, ballers, get up to the grade.
I totally agree, Anthony. We're just focused. We haven't got to the argument just yet. I just want to make sure everyone understands what a horizon is. That's my only point here. Chocolate.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I mean, it's the horizon. It's always been the horizon, the place where the sky appears to meet the ground. It's always been spoken about as one place. Till very recently. Now all of a sudden there are many places where the sky appears to meet the ground. Some places that we've never seen, and I don't know why we're talking about that because we've never seen it. And I'm talking about the geometric horizon, which now these guys say we've never seen. Well, that's weird because you're telling us that we live on a ball that's got geometry to it. So why does that now, that geometry not count? What's going on? So, yeah, that's what I got. It's the horizon. It's always one.
Dr. John D., did you get your mic squared away yet, sir? Any comments? Thanks. Nathan, you already had your comments. Good to go. 10th.
I will follow up on chocolate by saying that since they don't have a physical geometric horizon, which they need to have for it to be a sphere based on geometry, this is why you'll catch them saying it's a thought experiment. They can't prove it, and they've got everyone hoodwinked with fictitious words and fictitious statements and thought experiments. So can't wait for the Modus Tollens to bury him.
So the physicality is a thought experiment? That's a good one. Betty!
Yeah. What do you want me to say? Huh? I see still people saying in the chat, like, quantum eraser, stop using apparent and geometric interchangeably. They are different.
After I just explained how...
Yeah.
So did you guys not listen and see the cited sources that said that the geometric horizon is apparent? What am I missing here?
Not missing anything.
No, you are. What's missing is when they say you're conflating the two terms, what is actually happening is the horizon, like Chocolate says, there's only ever been one, but they now need to relabel and re-identify all these new horizons, like Riley's horizon and Quantum Eraser's horizon and the geometric horizon and what's the other one that they use? The astronomical horizon. All these new terms now that have never been in the discussion before, but they need to keep saying these different terms to bring them into existence, like the same way they do with gravity. The more they talk about gravity, the more it becomes like it seems like it's a thing. Well, we know that gravity is defined. We know the cause of gravity, so it's not actually a thing; it's an effect, right? But the more they talk about these other horizons, it brings them into existence. They speak it into existence, as all of a sudden everybody knows exactly what these horizons are, but they don't exist. So what they're doing is conflating the terms, and it's almost as if science has deliberately obfuscated the terms to make it sound so confusing to everybody that nobody understands it. But actually, there's only the one. It's the one that we've all grown up with, we've all seen. And if you get a theodolite and you point it at it and you measure the dip angle, Rumpus claims that you can measure the curvature of Earth and you can calculate the radius. Which horizon is he aiming at?
Oh, don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. We're going to get to that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Before you do, can I just expand on what 10th Man said? So when they're describing the geometric horizon, it's described, I believe, by Andrew Thomas Young as a thought experiment. He then goes on to say that there are some geometric considerations to be taken. So it's the height of doublespeak. They're telling you that it's not real, it's a thought experiment. But they're also saying, while you're thinking about what the horizon is, think of it as being physical. Take geometric consideration when performing this thought experiment. That's what they tell you. And it's their get out of jail free card. Because they can essentially say, yeah, we told you. It's a model. What didn't you understand what model meant? Obviously, that's not really the world. It's just a way of conceptualizing it, just philosophy. And it's the same with the horizon. Yeah, it's a thought experiment, and you think about it being geometric, and you take geometric considerations when performing the thought experiment. You think about it being real. It's not real, but you can think about it that way. And that's what they'd say if anyone ever came to them and challenged them and said, you've lied to me about the world being a sphere. It's not. No, we didn't. You just don't understand philosophy.
The first time you said that, I didn't catch it, but I'm starting to follow what you're saying. If they were to be challenged in their own literature, they're innocent because they've come out and told you this was nothing more than a thought experiment. Yep, I see it. Yeah. Good one on you, Nathan.
Which then takes me back to George Musa. Gravity's not a force, but you can think of it as a force. He's telling you it's not a force, and then he's saying you can think about it. Yeah, if you're a moron if you think something's a force when it's not a force. But Musa's telling you it's not a force. But if you want to think of it as a force, that makes you a dickhead. Sorry, but it does.
Yep. Because we don't have to operate on the really is level.
That's right. That's right. That's exactly right, Chocolate. We're not operating on a really is level either in gravity or geography.
Which is the reason why Fight the Flat Earth can claim victory, because he's applying what George Musa says when he says gravity's not a force, he ignores that bit, but you can think of it as a force. Well, that's what he's doing. Fight the Flat Earth is thinking of it as a force, so he thinks it into existence. He's literally thinking the ball into existence with gravity.
Yeah. All right. Any more thoughts on just horizons? Or
yes.
Should I say horizon?
Yeah, thank you. I wasn't even going to say it. Just one. It's always been one.
Go ahead, Arwen. Go ahead, Arwen. Finish it up. Horizon.
Right. Yeah, horizon. Yeah, the thing about a horizon is it's a natural consequence of optics in itself. It's due to diffraction, has everything to do with how lensing works and how visuals are received. It's pretty amazing and extremely complicated. But the thing is, horizon, that very concept, is derived from optics. So anyone that then starts to claim that a horizon would be even geometrical is already kind of lending the terminology and pulling it into a geometrical region where it doesn't really belong in the first place.
It would
That's
if
my
you're on a
opinion.
sphere.
Yeah, but it like the geometry lend the word, basically.
If you're on a sphere, you must have a
saying-
geometric horizon.
Both right. Let me just square this away. Arwin's saying that they're reifying the horizon into physical geometry. You're turning something into something geometric that isn't. And QE's response to that is, if the Earth was a sphere, it must definitely have a geometric horizon. That is certain. It's beyond certain. If it's a sphere, it's got a sphere horizon. It's just that simple. We don't, because it isn't.
Thank you. All right. So can we get to the argument?
Black Swan.
Black Swan. The death of the ball-tard spinning space monkey religion again. And just let me say this. It's dead, right? You're just ball-tards. You're just walking around. You're the Walking Dead because it's over. I know you don't understand it yet. We're going to help you. There's going to be therapy sessions, and I'm going to go over this argument every day for the next year. If the Earth is a sphere with a radius of 3959 miles, then every horizon distance measurement must be no more than 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. That's a geometric horizon. There she is. Isn't she a beaut? It's the death of your religion, folks. You don't know it yet. Like I said, we'll get there. So the observer's height in this particular photo is 1 foot. Now, there was some issues in the beginning with people saying, nah, he's a 3 foot, no, 4 foot. Okay, no problem. To get by it, I just made it 5 foot in the Black Swan photo. But he's actually at 1 foot. In fact, he might even be a little bit lower than 1 foot. It matters not anyway. The distance to the horizon is greater than 9.41 miles because we can see the horizon behind platform habitat. At a 5 foot observer's height, the maximum distance to the geometric horizon is 2.73 miles. At 1 foot, it is 1.22 miles maximum. Even if he was standing at 35 feet, right next to the water, the horizon should be 7.24 miles away. That is, it should be in between these two platforms. It's not. The argument is focused solely on the horizon behind these two platforms. I say again, I don't care if these two platforms are doing cartwheels in place with a Chinese Superman riding a pink refracted unicorn. I don't care. Do not talk about the platforms. They are merely there to demarcate distance. It's not the argument. If you bring them up, you haven't stated the argument and or you don't understand the argument. Because the entire argument is about the horizon. I hope you understand that. It's been 4 weeks now, and I can't tell you how many times I've heard people come out of the gate, Globers, talking about the platforms. Are you mainlining fluoride? Listen to me. Listen to the words coming out of my mouth. The argument is about the horizon. I'm going to show you the argument right here. I'm going to drop anchor right here. Modus tollens. Holy shnikes, this is going to leave a mark. If P, then Q, not Q, therefore not P. If the Earth is a sphere with a radius of 3959 miles, P, then every horizon distance measurement must be no more than 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet, Q. Not Q, because the horizon distance is greater than 9.41 miles in the Black Swan photo, therefore not P. The Earth is not a sphere. This is the argument. The color of the swan, the analogy of the swan, the oil platforms, the little boat you guys still think is a boat between the platforms, the color of the water, the color of the sky they are not the argument. The horizon behind the platforms is the argument. The ball tart spinning space monkey community, please allow me to introduce to you your black plague, the black swan. There she is. Isn't she a beaut? Questions, comments?
Yeah, I got some points.
You go first, Sleeping Warrior.
Okay, so the main argument that I hear is, oh, there's so much refraction in the picture that you couldn't possibly be honest with your position. John, do you want to address the refraction argument for the millionth time?
We're going to get to that right after we're done here.
Can I make my point then in that case? So you mentioned about 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. And obviously, Anthony will back me up in this. There was quite a considerable amount of time spent bantering about Anthony's height when we argued about the Isle of Man. Now, why would the height, specifically the height when talking about a geometric horizon, what is it about the height that's important in respect to the horizon?
Because the higher you go, the further back it appears to be.
Not the word I'm looking for.
Pardon?
Because
Give Kiwi a chance to respond.
Yeah, I didn't know you were asking me, but I can tell you because it directly impacts the geometry of the sphere, or how you see that geometry. Sorry.
Geometric obstruction.
I'll say it. So the geometric horizon, get a pen, Vundies, write this down, is apparent based on height. That's why we spent so much time arguing about where the apparent geometric position would be when arguing about the Isle of Man, and you telling us that the beach is obscured physically by an earth curve obstruction, the physical geometry, the stuff you're relinquishing right now. But this word apparent that was brought up by Anthony from someone in the chat is redundant. Your geometric horizon is apparent based on height. So adding in this extra apparent horizon when we only have one and yours is geometric, also apparent based on height, is redundant. We only have one horizon. Yours, Globehead Fundies, is geometric. Or it was before we debunked it. Now you don't have a geometric horizon. It's game over.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that photograph does not conform to the globe geometry.
Chocolate. Thanks, Chocolate. That was really deep.
Yeah, I don't have much to say. It's rest in peace with the globe and the geometry, which Nathan said they have relinquished. They've given it up, saying that we've never seen it. Talking about how, oh, it's refracted. Okay, great. Yeah, that's nice. It's not geometric, and that's what the problem is. You still don't see it. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's if that's a refracted horizon, welcome to flat Earth.
Yep.
Dr. John D, did you get your mic and speakers squared up yet, sir? Tenth.
Yeah, I may pull Chocolate to wrap up my point. I did it a few shows ago. After reading everything that they put out, they say the reason the geometric horizon can't be seen is because of the atmosphere. So because of the atmosphere and the refraction that the atmosphere can give you on any number of days, different types of refractions. So it's like, wait a minute, that picture you have there clearly shows that the horizon is behind the second oil platform, and it's a clear enough day. So my statement is the last time I checked, the atmosphere was transparent. So even that statement that they come up with to trick people, the reason you can't, okay, quote unquote, the reason you can't see the geometric horizon, the physical one, is because of the atmosphere. How would they ever know that, Chocolate?
You tell me.
Well, he said on the last show they would have to measure it without an atmosphere.
Well, when the hell did they do that?
That's my point. It's a joke.
You know?
You're able to see because the atmosphere is transparent.
You dig out the quote, the citation, sorry, that says about the horizon being a thought experiment, and then goes on to say about the geometric considerations. Can you dig that out?
Yeah, let me go search for it.
And I'd like to add 1 second, Chocolate. Tent said that they are saying that the geometrical horizon is, you can't see it? You got a problem. I just went over this. The United States Department of Defense horizon, in general, the apparent or visible junction of the earth and the sky, as seen from any specific position, also called the apparent, visible, or local horizon. What's the local horizon, according to National Geographic? It's the geometric horizon. It's visible. So that's one problem.
A big problem, John. It's a big problem for the globe.
You're not kidding. This is a problem. Their model requires a geometric horizon, and they don't have one. It really is that simple.
And my thing is, did it require the creation of the Black Swan argument for them to realize that? Because again, I've been in here for a little bit, and I'm sure some of you guys have been in here much longer. I've never heard that there's a horizon that we don't see, that we don't calculate, that we can calculate for, but we've never seen. We don't see it because we have an atmosphere.
No.
I mean,
that makes no sense. Hold on. No. A horizon, you have to see the horizon for it to be the horizon.
But so then how can we have one that we don't see?
That makes no that's it's beyond moronic.
Concession. It's not beyond moronic. It's the concession that they're not living on a sphere. By declaring that you can't see the geometric horizon, because of the way that it's said, the tone that they say it in, you don't hear the actual words that they're saying. They're saying, let's say it with a nice big smile, we don't see the geometric horizon. That's what they're saying. Now, you're like, hold on, I need to convince them now of their original position and their religion in heliocentricity, as opposed to welcoming them to flat Earth. Yeah, that's right, Fun. You don't see the geometric horizon. Yeah, your model requires one. It's the basis of your fundamentalist religious belief that the physicality of the ground beneath your feet is sphere-shaped. So yeah, you definitely have to have one. You're just declaring you haven't. So treat it like it is. So many times, so it's because it's early days. People get into this, and when the fundy on their opposing side says, we don't see the geometric horizon, because it's said that way, people think, no, I've now got to convince him that we should see a gym. No, we don't need to suddenly convince them that we should see one. Let's get it straight. That's the concept. That's the end of the argument.
Yep. Yes, sir. You got it. You're right.
In the end, they can unfortunately always double speak their way out. You know.
Not with me.
Well, not in the face of somebody else, of course, but on their own private time. You know.
All right, 10th.
What happened with Spurs? Spurs won. He won.
Oh yeah.
And then he carried on arguing.
Yes, that's correct. 10th, do you have that citation, please?
I'm getting to it. I'll let you know.
All right. Let's move on.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, Betty. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Betty.
Yeah, I got a lot of super chats for you.
Go ahead.
Out. So we got Theo Mekaworty, and he says, a plane on a globe must constantly change attitude. And we got Paul Hall, and he says, one swan to rule them all. And then Sam Hine says, Paul Hall is ace. And we got Mason B, he says, reality more than fantasy. One can only imagine being on a globe. And Grave Dodger says, anyone living on the coast or goes to the beach regularly knows there's only one horizon. It's very apparent. Smiley face.
Good one. Thanks, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate that. Can I move on now, Betty?
Yeah, I have one nice sentence from someone on the ball side, and he says, the geometric horizon can only be detected physically. It's the furthest bit of ground you can touch with a long stick. Hmm.
Can I have a citation for that?
No, that's
I
good.
hope so.
That's fine. The stick is describing is the tangent they draw, the line they draw between you, the observer, and a target, with the surface of the claimed to be physical edge of the sphere between you and it. That's your tangent. Well, that's what he's describing, isn't he? And he'd be right. But you'd see that point, mate. It would be a physical obstruction between you and the thing behind it. And it would be geometric like in your model. Because everything that your model bases the maths on, even refraction, is based on that physicality you're describing with your stick. You just don't have one. My God. Anyway, at some point, QE, can I get maybe 30 to 60 seconds just to say some kind words to various people without giving the game away? You tell me when, not now, but whenever is appropriate.
You don't want to do it now?
I can do it now if you want.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Just some love. So my main channel, Nathan Oakley 1980s, just hit 17,000 subscribers and 4 million views in pretty much the same time frame. And the second channel is about 11 subscribers shy of 5,000 subscribers. So I will spam the link because after this show there'll be a uncut and after show on the second channel. But if you're not already subscribed, go and get me up to 5,000 subscribers. Someone's going to be that 5,000th. So hopefully it's you. But I'll spam the link. But it's just I just want to send out some love. I just can't quite. I'm a little bit overwhelmed with the amount of support and appreciation my channels have got at the moment. The number of views, the number of subscribers is just slightly overwhelming. So I just want to say thank you. I don't want the time to pass me being overwhelmed with it and not actually go, wow, thank you everyone who's subscribed and supported me. I really do appreciate it. That was all I wanted to say. Thank you very much for letting me.
You deserve every bit of it. Sir. You deserve every bit of it, sir.
Yeah, you deserve it, Nathan.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Betty, we ready to move?
Yeah, although last super chat now, and from Rakia Live, and he says, as much as this hates me to say, QE is right. Black Swan. Shh.
Black Swan.
I think it wasn't shout out, but I needed to whisper, huh? I did, yeah, I'm sorry. I did it wrong.
It's okay. Black Swan. Thanks. Appreciate it, Rock. All right, let's move on to potential debunks. So, number one, BMLSB 69 is a 1 foot. Like I said, we discussed this one briefly above. If you watch the number one Globe Killer Collector's Edition, I run the video. And the original video is in the info box below this video. You could take a look at it, make the call for yourself. It's an easy call. Number two, same thing. There is land, that is islands behind the platforms. That one faded away quick. I just dealt a death blow to that one real quick. I haven't heard this one come up before. Again, see the collector's edition of the Globe Killer. That's why it hasn't come up again. Number three, you can't see the horizon. If you can't see the horizon, you need to make an ophthalmologist appointment ASAP. Okay? Thanks. Number four, some white swans. This is a photo off a video, again, and from BMLSB 69. This is 2 months after the black swan photo was taken. This was taken in December. As you can see, we have a bunch of shenanigans going on, atmospheric shenanigans, and ocean tides, swells. There's a lot of issues here. This does not impact the argument, the modus tollens, one iota. That's why I want every flat earther, if they're up against a baller, to make sure they restate the argument. Once the argument is stated, then you won't hear anything about what's going on in this picture or anything about the oil platforms. There's a reason, there's a method to my madness. Get them to restate the argument. It's not unreasonable request, right? The next one, like I said, this photo right here, on closer inspection, this horizon is right at the base of the oil platforms, and he is at, the first oil platform, Platform Hill House. Like I said, on closer inspection, he was standing out. BMLS B69 was standing up when he took this photo. So the horizon should be at 2.73 miles. Well, the horizon right here, I don't care what's going on back here with these oil platform, with this oil platform. I could care less. It could be doing cartwheels. I don't care. My argument is about the horizon, right? The horizon is up to the base of this platform at 6.2 miles. You got a big problem because the horizon should be at 2.73 miles. Notice there's only one horizon. Again, does this observation debunk the number one globe killer? No. No. Doesn't do anything to it. Nothing. Zero. Number 5, this is a new one. The Q is a straw man. We don't believe that. From the ballers. All right, let's go up and take a look. So the Q in this argument is a straw man. Here's the Q. So let's go through the P first. If the Earth is a sphere with a radius of 3959 miles P, then every horizon distance measurement must be no more than 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet Q. That's a geometric horizon. This isn't a straw man, folks. I don't care what you believe. This is the geometric constraints of your sphere. That's it. It's not a straw man. You're straw manning us with your straw man. And again, I don't care what you believe. It's not the point. And the savior, refraction. Well, make sure you say atmospheric refraction, number 1. And number 2, that's all they do. They just say refraction. It's like gravity, right? Gravity. The saviors, atmospheric refraction and gravity for the ball-tard spinning space monkey religion. It's not your savior. And we're going to go through why it's not. Number 1, you don't know what atmospheric refraction is. And I'm talking to every single baller that I ever spoken to about this subject. All they say is refraction. Well, what kind and what type of refraction? What? Refract? No, just refraction. No. There's 5 different types. From your alma mater wiki, atmospheric refraction near the ground produces mirages. Such refraction can also raise or lower, or stretch or shorten the images of distant objects without involving mirages. So let's paint by the numbers. You ready? Types of refraction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get it? Let's try it again. Again from the alma mater wiki, but with a little help from number 2 down here. Number 2 is the subject matter expert, our buddy, Andrew Thomas Young from San Diego State University, Astronomy Department. While mirages are the best known atmospheric refraction phenomena, looming and similar refraction phenomena do not produce mirages. Mirages show an extra image or images of the mirage object, while looming, towering, stooping, and sinking do not. No inverted image is present in those phenomena either. Depending on atmospheric condition, the objects can appear to be elevated or lowered, stretched or stooped. These phenomena can occur together, changing the appearance of different objects or of different parts of the objects in different ways. Sometimes these phenomena can occur together with a true mirage. So, there are 5 effects of refraction. If you claim refraction and that there's refraction that is the rebuttal to the black swan argument, then what we're going to do is we're going to go through each type of refraction, context it with the black swan, and see if it holds any water. Make sense? Let's do it. Number 1, so is the horizon miraged? Well, what does mirage mean? Mirages show an extra image or images of the mirage object. Is the horizon showing an extra image of the horizon or more images of the horizon above the mirage object? No, because it doesn't make sense. Yeah, you're right. So number 1, mirages are file 13. Number 2, we'll take 2 and 3 together. So, is the horizon towering or stooping? Well, let's find out what towering or stooping is from their alma mater wiki and Andrew Thomas Young, the subject matter expert. Towering and stooping change the apparent shape of the object itself. With towering, objects appear stretched. With stooping, objects seem to be shortened. Is the horizon stretched or shortened in the black swan photo? Is the horizon stretched or stooped in this photo? If you say that doesn't make any sense, you'd be right, because it's non sequitur. Number 4, sinking. From Williams Humphreys, The Physics of the Air. Sinking is the opposite of looming. In sinking, stationary objects that are normally seen above the horizon appear to be lowered, or may even disappear below the horizon. In looming, the curvature of the rays is increasing, while sinking produces the opposite effect. Question: is the horizon lowered or disappeared below the horizon in the black swan photo? Is the horizon lowered or disappeared below the horizon in this photo? No. Why? Well, because it doesn't make any sense. It's non sequitur. 4 down, 1 left. Our buddy. Looming. From their alma mater wiki, looming is the most noticeable and most often observed of these refraction phenomena. It is an abnormally large refraction of the object that increases the apparent elevation of the distant objects and sometimes allows an observer to see the objects that are located where? Below the horizon under normal conditions. Let's get it from Andrew Thomas Young. Looming. The appearance above the horizon of a distant object that would normally be hidden below it. We're not going to get to the second part of this definition. I'll get to this in a little bit, in a few minutes. So, is the horizon appearing above the horizon in the black swan photo? Is the horizon appearing above the horizon in this photo? No. Why? Well, because it doesn't make any sense. That is, number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are dead. D-E-D, dead. You don't know what refraction is, ballers. After 5 years, you don't know it. None of these make any sense. They have nothing whatsoever to do with the black swan photo or the argument. By the way, the friggin' horizon doesn't ever loom. Ever, ever, ever. Let's take the second part of his definition, terrestrial refraction, this part. So, Andrew Thomas Young, the subject matter expert from San Diego State University, Astronomy Department, says that looming is the effect is caused by unusually large terrestrial refraction. I can just stop right there. Terrestrial refraction? This is a stone cold begging the question fallacy. Why? Does light refract? Yeah. Is that the same that can be accounted for by terrestrial refraction? Answer: nope. Keyword is terrestrial. You see, terrestrial refraction already assumes a sphere. That is, the calculations assume the radius of the Earth. Don't believe me? Andrew Thomas Young again. The atmosphere is also curved as it follows the shape of the Earth. In the calculations below, we'll adopt a rough value of 6,400 kilometers as the radius of curvature to make the calculation simple.
Yo, Mike discipline.
Mike discipline.
Mike discipline, Tony.
You see this, Professor? Or is it refracted? Because you're assuming the premise, atmosphere is curved, then by proxy, the Earth's curvature, to prove the conclusion true, terrestrial refraction or looming. That's a textbook begging the question fallacy, circular banjo do-si-do. This is quite over, folks. Let's go deeper into this looming, because even within their own definition, Mike, discipline, please. Even within their own definition of looming, it's incorrect. Even inside it. I'm going to show you. Again, we're going to make a comparison between two different definitions. One is from Andrew Thomas Young from San Diego State University. The other is his Huckleberry quantum eraser. So, let's see his definition again. Andrew Thomas Young, looming. The appearance above the horizon of a distant object that would normally be hidden below it. First, quantum eraser's definition, looming, is nothing more than an optical illusion produced by the sky being inferior mirage underneath an object, giving the appearance of said objects floating above a false horizon. Which one do you think is correct? That's rhetorical. Let's go over some examples. So this is the classic photo of looming. And I said before, on many occasions, all you have to do is use off-center vision to identify the true horizon here, right? So what we got is the sky being inferior miraged underneath an object, giving a false horizon and showing that this boat is more or less floating, right? Yeah. Whose definition is correct? That's rhetorical, by the way. We all know whose definition is correct. And if we get in trouble and we don't know what's going on in this photo, we can always go to Mick West, our savior, to explain it to us. So Mick West grabbed this photo. The reason being is the press was calling this a Fata Morgana. So Mick caught a hold of this, and he was correct in correcting them. This is not a mirage. A Fata Morgana, you would see an inverse image of this boat. So this is not a mirage. The real horizon is here, right? What he did was color contrast this to bring it out for you. And it's the same place we've seen with our off-center vision above. The problem in this photo right here, he identifies the false horizon, but he gives the wrong cause. He said the false horizon is due to fog. Right? Well, Mick, if this was a fog bank right here, you wouldn't see the boat. Okay? Another classic example from the Scottish Open. Just focus over here on the left photo. And you don't even have to use off-center vision with this, right? Because you can see where the horizon actually is. Now, in the right-hand photo, this was color corrected. Right? This is a very simple one right here. What's going on here? Well, this is an optical illusion over here because the sky is being inferior miraged underneath an object, giving a false horizon and the illusion of the boat floating. Right? Look over at the right. It's clear. The quintessential example of boats being raptured. Again, you can use off-center vision. You don't really need to with this. I can see the horizon straight off the bat with this one, right? So what's happening here? Well, the sky is being inferior miraged underneath an object, right? Giving a false horizon and the illusion that these boats are floating, right? We can see the sky being reflected here. You have a collage of the clouds above. That's okay. We can see them right here. There's no issue, right? You also see the false horizon, right? This one is even fragmented, right? This isn't a horizon. Whose definition is correct? Andrew Thomas Young's or his Huckleberry quantum eraser? Questions, comments?
Yeah, I totally concur. You're absolutely on target. And yeah, there's a lot of reflections going on. There's a lot of mirroring. As I said before, things can get very complicated at times at the horizon and can be like a hall of mirrors almost in some way. But yeah, there's only one real horizon eventually, and it does not abide by the geometry of the globe.
I have a request for a troll in chat known as Tommy82. Quote, he's lying. If you don't believe me, read Andrew Thomas Young's page yourself. And then he gives a URL because he's not got the link to chat to post the full URL. Tommy82, please join and let's hear you put that allegation to him and let's see how much weight it carries. Thank you.
Chocolate.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not much to add. It's done deal. The horizon, which has always been the horizon, is supposed to be geometric in their model, and apparently it isn't. So since it requires it to be, because you guys have fought for years that boats are going behind this very geometry, right? The physicality of it has had to be real all this time. And now all of a sudden it's not. And yeah, that's a problem for you guys. And you might want to realize it.
Black Swan.
Yeah. This argument has destroyed the notion that your geometric horizon is physical. And it's obvious because your arguments have changed. And you might. I implore people who are new to this, go back and listen to old BALLBUSTERS or old flat earth debates. Listen to what they used to argue about, right? Listen to how many times they brought up, oh, there's 3 horizons. Oh, there's a horizon we don't see. I mean, come on. And then come back and listen to after the Black Swan and what their arguments are now. Right? I implore people to do that because it's obvious just in your response to this argument how devastating it is. So we're celebrating an extended wake for your geometric horizon. So rest in peace and have a good day.
It's a wrap. Got a message from Dr. John D. He can't get his microphone to work. He said the horizon's easy, but technology? No problem, Dr. John D. We got you, brother. 10th.
Yo, you want me to pile on the globe?
Yeah.
All right. I put in the text, the source that Andrew Thomas Young uses for his theoretical comes from the Association of American Geographers. This is something I sent you, Kiwi, already. Shared on the Nathan Oakley show. And if you go there, you can see the part that says radius of the Earth effective. A fictitious value of the Earth's radius, which when used in a formula for the distance from a point to the geometric horizon, gives the same answer as would using the true value of the radius in the formula for the distance to the apparent horizon, if the Earth were spherical and without air. So there's that thing that they always say about its geometric horizon is physical, it's there, but because of the because of the atmosphere, we can't see it. And yet this whole article, and believe it or not, American Association of Geographers says it's fictitious, not real. Concept, theoretical.
Jeez. So, the geometric horizon is fictitious on a sphere. That's a good one. Is that it? 10th?
Yeah, the only way we'd know is if there was no atmosphere, but no one would be able to report the findings.
Yeah, baloney. Nathan, sir.
Oh, can I speak out a special request for Nathan specifically?
Yes.
You could do the final prayers for the globe one last time now that it's definitive that the globe is deceased.
Just before we do that, though, I did start talking about rumpus before and how rumpus used to make the claim that you could aim a theodolite at the horizon, and John interrupted and says, "No, we'll come back to that." Just making sure he hasn't forgotten about that claim of rumpus.
I haven't forgotten about it. We're going to get to Al Baruni here in a few moments.
Excellent.
Nathan, sir. Yes, sir. That was deep. Betty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any thoughts on this and any admin?
Yeah, everything has been said, right? So let me get to the admin straight away. We got 2 super chats from Rakia Live, and he says, "As much as I hate this," oh, that one I already did. Sorry. One other from Rakia Live. Shout out to all globe channels using cartoon backdrops of the globe instead of real photo. Wonder why?
Yeah, you're exactly right, Dave. Thank you very much. Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder why that is. I wonder why we get images and cartoons. That's interesting.
Yeah, very little photographs of outer space things, aren't there? Very little of those. Always images.
I love how the word fictitious is used in this manner. It kind of reminds me of when they would bring up fictitious forces, or AKA pseudo forces, that are supposed to exist that don't really exist. So it's funny now there's a fictitious radius. Pseudo radius? Is that where we at now?
Yes, it's a thought experiment, Chocolate. Get with the times, man.
Awesome, bro.
Effective radius.
Oh, there he
effective.
is.
Hey, Nathan.
Nathan, sir, comments, questions.
Really? What's to say?
Oh, if you don't know, can we have the baller prayer one last time now that the Black Swan has definitely announced the decease of the globe?
But the ball of prayer is no longer appropriate, right? So I'll preface it by saying this. We used to say in R you trust, because you could presuppose R, bend light around the curve of the Earth, bring things back from behind the reified edge of the curved Earth. And we used to therefore say a little prayer based on their faith in R. But now they don't have a geometric horizon, so they don't have R. Their religion, their faith in R is now completely untenable. I'll rattle it off. It's Radius Dominus Gravitas Spiritus Sanctus Arwin. Go in peace, in R you trust. May the not actual force of gravity be with you.
Thank you. Thank you. That was awesome.
They can't trust in it anymore. It's totally untenable.
Well, they always have double speak. But yeah, to everyone, it's just gonna look very, very dirty and crazy, but there will still be some that'll keep on going until the end.
All right. Any more? I'm going to finish up with the last part of the presentation. Yeah. All right.
given that I know that you're going to do this about Alberiuni, or however you pronounce his name, can I dedicate this part of the show to the Rumpus without any objections? Because this is his main argument for such a long time, and I really want to catch up with him and ask him, does he still maintain this position? Because if he does, this is dedicated to you, the Rumpus.
And there's an extra special part in here with ray tracing that can also be devoted to him. So bonus.
Shout-outs retracted.
Oh, that wasn't a shout out.
I said without Nathan, damn you.
All right, guys, let's start. You thought we forgot about those. We just left those up there at the first part of the presentation. Nah, let's go over it some more. So, these are from National Geographic. If they're not, I will let you know. Number 1, again, the local horizon, also called the what? Geometrical horizon, is the visible boundary between the earth and sky. You see, the geometric horizon is visible. You know, the visible one, it's the geometric horizon. It's visible. It's the boundary between the earth and the sky. Right? You guys follow that? Geometrical horizon, visible. You can see it. The boundary between the earth and the sky. Right? Does the earth actually touch the sky? Or the ocean actually touch the sky? No. It's apparent. Does the geometrical horizon change with the observer's height? Yes. Making it apparent. Double whammy. The geometrical horizon is the visible boundary. Get it? Number 2, the geographic horizon. Uh-oh, we got another horizon here. The geographic horizon is the apparent boundary between the earth and the sky. The geometrical horizon is also the apparent boundary between the earth and the sky. We just went over that. So, the geographic horizon is the geometric horizon. Number 3, the sea level horizon is the at sea level, aka the geometric horizon. National Geographic again, the astronomical horizon. We got another horizon here, the new imagination. Thank you. Let's go with Encyclopedia Britannica for horizon in astronomy. It's the boundary where the sky seems to meet the ground or sea. Well, thanks. That's the geometric horizon, Encyclopedia Britannica. Appreciate that. 5, from National Geographic. The true horizon is the imaginary plane. Imaginary. We don't do imaginary. We work at the really is level here. So, all these horizons are the geometric horizon. 2 points or entities where the sky appears to meet the ground. That's interesting. Let's go over the geometrical horizon again. The local horizon, also called the geometrical horizon, is the visible boundary between the earth and the sky. Whoever made this up put the geometrical horizon down here. Is this line appearing to where the earth meets the sky?
No.
The apparent horizon is the geometric horizon because the geometrical horizon is apparent. I went over that above. This is the best one so far. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I love it when you jump. I should have been ready.
Looks kind of flat to me, John.
This is the new one, the globe horizon, anywhere you want it to be. So we got the astronomical horizon, we got the apparent horizon, we have the artificial horizon, we have the horizon to be named later, and we have the geometric horizon. Pick one. Let's go over it. From our buddy, subject matter, Andrew Refraction law to such a horizontal ray of light. Because it does not cross the Earth's surface. But here, is to remind ourselves that rays don't really exist. You see, Andrew Thomas Young, ATY baby, we here deal with the really is, not the really isn't. Okay? Finally, Mike Discipline, please. Al Baruni, Bubby. You see, it's not actually Eratosthenes that came up with this Earth radius that he has. No. See, most people know that that's hogwash. What they don't tell you is what they really go by is this gentleman right here, Mr. Al Baruni. Baruni, from 973 to 1048 AD, developed a new method using trigonometric calculations to what? Compute the Earth's radius and circumference based on the angle between what? The horizontal line and the true horizon from a mountaintop with known height. He calculated the height of the mountain by going to 2 points at sea level with a known distance apart and then measuring the angle between the plane and the top of the mountain for both points. Baruni's estimate of 6,339.9 kilometers for the Earth radius had an error of 0.0026 and was 16.8 kilometers less than the current value of 6,356.7 kilometers. The idea came to him when he was on top of a tall mountain near Nandana in India. He measured the dip angle using an astrolabe, and he applied to the law of sines formula. He also made use of algebra in his calculation. There it is. That's what he did. I'm going to ask a couple rhetorical questions here. What's the problem with C currently? The horizon? And let me go back up here. He calculated the height of the mountain by going to 2 points at sea level with a known distance apart. What if the mountain was refracted? We'll save that one. So, A is the highest point of the mountain. B is the lowest point of the mountain. H is the height of the mountain. Here comes the problem. C, the lowest point of the true horizon visible from point A. C's gonna be a huge problem. Globe monkeys, you know why? How can you calculate a geometric horizon from a refracted horizon? Pray tell. Turn out the lights. Party's over. They say that all good things must end. Good night. Questions, comments?
Well, your singing has improved.
Can you pop your diagram back on screen, please? Where you've got C marked, it's tangent line. In any of the Earth curve calculators, the mathematics will be based on the physical geometry. In Mech West's calculator, where it says C, it has an X. And the word next to that X is horizon. Oh, no, one more thing, just in case anybody wasn't clear already. It's geometric, unlike the horizon we see. That's it, I'm done.
All right. I just wanted to interfere. I thought your conclusion about the nature of light was a bit quick drawn, as it were. But yeah, concerning the globe versus the The machinations that they put forward for us versus the actual reality of optics and all. Yeah, it's very blatantly obvious that quantum eraser is completely correct.
Chocolate.
Yeah, I agree with the last statement that you said. If it was a refracted horizon, how could you ever calculate the geometric one if we've never seen it? And then that begs the question of what the hell are we using the calculators for? Why are the calculators giving us a geometric horizon if we've never seen it? What is the use of that then? What have we been talking about all these years when we've put into McWest calculator or Walter Business or whoever, and it gives us a geometric horizon? So if we've been wasting our time all this time telling you guys it's not geometric, and all this time you've been telling us it is geometric, and now you're telling us it's not geometric.
Yeah. Which, just for the avoidance of any doubt, it means that when Rumpus claims you can get a theodolite, point it at the horizon, measure the dip angle, and calculate the radius of Earth, you can't, because you're not pointing it at the geometric horizon. Shoutouts to the Rumpus.
Shut up, retracted.
I hope he concedes this. Next time anybody sees the Rumpus, ask him, does he still support this position? Because if he does, he has to concede. He's never going to concede because it's the Rumpus. But we can bully him with it because he has to concede this point. You can't point a theodolite at the horizon because you're not looking at the actual horizon. You're looking at an apparent horizon. So you can't calculate the radius because you never know how much refraction you're looking at. He has to concede.
Isn't it beautiful?
He has conceded it. QE trimmed out is going around in circles between we do have a geometric horizon, we don't have a geometric horizon, oh, we do. That's as good as concession because...
No, he has to concede it directly because it's his direct claim. He's directly claimed this. He needs to directly concede it. We all know he's not going to do, but bully him next time you see him. Just ask him, can you still point a theodolite at the horizon and calculate Earth's radius? He has to say, well, he has to concede, but he's not going to do. He's always going to say yes because he's never, ever right about anything. But he claims he's 100% right about everything he's ever said.
It is fun to poke him with that because he can't concede it. You're right. He'd have to say yes. And he will.
He will.
Despite it being untenable as a position to hold.
It's really game over. Any direction, ballers, any direction you go, there's a flamethrower waiting. I'm sorry, right? I really am for you. I did feel sorry for you a little bit just a second ago. I take that back. I'm not sorry. 10th.
Checkmate.
Thanks, 10th.
Black Swan.
Black Swan.
Had anything from Dr. John Dee at all?
Pardon?
I was just texting with him. He said he's still having problems with his mic. Yep. He's put out a request to Betty for help.
Oh yeah, I didn't get any.
I think he wanted to go through me to get through you, but I'm sure you're busy right now with other things. But he has put out a request for help.
Okay, well, we have to square that away in another time, I think. But well, we can sure get to do that. Yeah.
Yes.
Missing out on some great circumcision jokes.
Circumcision jokes? How do you get to circumcision jokes?
Ballbusters. He was in the chat, so when we had Adam Meakin talking about flights off the back of the previous full-length Ballbusters, Adam did a 2018 presentation. You were there. No, maybe you were, maybe you weren't. I can't remember. You didn't say much if you were. Either way, Dr. John Dee's in the chat. He's not saying anything, but he's making the whole panel chuckle because he's making some humorous asides about people's religion. Not in any offensive way before we get the ADL on us. You know what I mean? It was funny.
All right.
Well,
any more? Was that suitable? Was that a good comeuppance for Rumpus, Anthony, or did you want to add anything else?
I just want to emphasize it again, because in case anyone's not clear, the Rumpus has made assertions to do with the horizon, a theodolite, and calculating the radius of Earth, but he bases it, of course, on the assertion that we're looking at the actual geometric horizon, which, of course, we're not. The Rumpus is incorrect, and he also maintains that he's 100% right about 100% of his arguments, and he's clearly wrong. So he needs to be bullied about this because he has to actively concede this point because he's made the assertion that you can do this. So we can't passively do it by, we don't. That's too passive. We need a direct concession. Rumpus was wrong. You can't measure the radius of Earth with a theodolite at the horizon because you're not looking at the actual geometric horizon. You're looking at a non-physical, apparent one. And he has to concede, but he's never going to do it. So make sure you bully him when you see him next, because it's such a powerful point.
Come on, don't encourage bullying. Just, yeah, he should definitely be poked for everything he's done and this double-speak face he's trying to hold up this act. But yeah, don't bully him. But yeah, he should definitely be reminded about what he's.
Yeah, rephrasing of the terminology to reminded from bullying, fine. But ultimately speaking, he's in a position that's quite uncomfortable. He's holding an untenable position, and having a good poke, I've got no issue with that whatsoever.
It's on topic though. It's not. You can't be bullied if it's on topic and it's not personal. I'm not saying bully the guy personally. I'm saying do bully him about his position because he's incorrect. You're not allowed to bully the person, but you can absolutely bully the position the guy takes.
Yes, sounds better.
All right, guys. To the audience members, everyone listening out there, this is the time right now where you can join the BALLBUSTERS voice chat through Betty's Discord server. The link is in the info box below. Now remember, even for the panel members, the BALLBUSTERS panel members, including me, and everyone who joins, there are 3 zero tolerance rules. I'll state them again. No ad homs. Attacking the man in lieu of the argument, or woman in lieu of the argument. Don't do that. Number 2, no scattergunning. One topic at a time. Each will be exhausted to conclusion before moving to the next. Be prepared to support every claim, not just what you say. We don't want a bunch of ipsy-dixit fallacies. Number 3, be polite, speak slowly and coherently. Everyone is clean slated. Everyone. Follow those rules. If you do not follow those rules, then I will be forced personally to server mute you, then I immediately kick you out of this server. As long as we're clear. Okay? Righteous, are you there, sir?
Yes.
Proceed, sir.
Yeah. All right. I guess we can start with Branch. Branch, you there? All right. I guess we can move on to Branda.
He was in the chat a while ago.
Brenda? She was eager to talk earlier.
Yeah, I'm here. Could John repeat the military quote that he cited like what, 15 minutes, half an hour ago?
Yes. From the U.S. DoD, Department of Defense, the horizon. In general, the apparent or visible junction of the earth and sky as seen from any specific position, also called the apparent, visible, or local horizon. A horizontal...
Read the rest of that.
Okay, yeah, I'll read it.
I'm sorry.
Relax.
I'm sorry.
A horizontal plane passing through a point of vision or perspective center. The apparent or visible horizon approximates the true horizon only when the point of vision is very close to sea level.
So the apparent horizon approximates the geometric or true horizon, correct?
No, the apparent or visible horizon, there's only one. It's the local horizon. That's the geometric horizon.
It said literally that the apparent horizon approximates the true horizon. The true horizon is the geometric horizon.
Yep, that's fine. Yep.
Yeah, those are two different things. And it says so right there.
So
You
we got
just
two
read it.
different, I'm sorry, excuse me, two different things. What are things?
It literally just said there's an apparent horizon and a true horizon, which is also the geometric horizon, and that they approximate each other.
No, it says the apparent or visible horizon approximates. Those are your two different things.
It literally says what I just said, that there's two different horizons and the parent horizon approximates
But
the
there
true
she said it.
horizon.
She said it. Sorry, she just said it. So there's two horizons. There's two different horizons, Brenda. That's what you just said.
Yes.
No, there isn't. There's only one.
No,
There isn't.
the source John read literally says there are.
Brenda, are you blind? We don't have two horizons. That's a statement of fact. Would you like to challenge my statement of fact? I will repeat it now. We only have one horizon. Do you want to challenge that statement of fact? Because you'll seem insane, because it's a fact.
Well, apparently
Two,
John's source
just one.
disagrees with you.
The source
so
does not-
because
hold on a second. Hold on a second. The source does not disagree. I will read it again, slowly. From Department of Defense Horizon, in general, the apparent or visible junction of the earth and sky, as seen from any specific position, also called the apparent, visible, or local horizon. So, they're talking about the local horizon. It's apparent and visible. The local horizon is the geometric horizon. This is the visible boundary between the earth and the sky. There's not two horizons. They're only talking about one. Thanks.
Brenda, that seems to directly contradict your claim that it supports you.
It literally says in the text that there's two horizons, an apparent horizon and a true horizon.
It
and
does
that they
not
approximate each other.
It does not.
Yes, it literally says that.
I just read it.
Brenda.
You read it and it
Okay,
literally
stop.
says that.
Stop.
No. Brenda, can you read off the part that says that, please? Word for word. Go ahead.
I don't have the link and you're off the air. And so I don't have
Sorry.
the text in front of me.
So let me get this straight. You're saying what it says directly contradicts what he's read, and you can't read the thing that you think directly contradicts it. You haven't actually got it. Is that the correct circumstances? I think we can move on, Righteous Force. She's a moron.
If you could send me the
Wait,
link to that.
Can I ask one question?
Moron. She hasn't got it written down. She doesn't know what it actually says. She's a complete moron.
Hey, hold on a
She's
second,
challenged-
guys. Hold on a second, guys. Wait one. The definition is on screen right now. Right here.
Brenda, do you want to take us through it? Can you see it, Brenda?
Yes, I can, and I can read that to you. The apparent horizon approximates the true horizon.
Yeah.
Where's the contradiction? The bit that you say supports your interpretation.
Those are obviously two different things. The apparent or visible horizon approximates the true horizon only when the point of vision is very close to sea level. Like, say, for instance, 1 foot above sea level.
Sure. So what horizon are we looking at? Are we looking at two horizons?
It says that the apparent horizon can approximate the true horizon.
But it says the
They're
apparent.
two different things.
It says apparent or visible, Brenda, not and. Or.
And then what does the rest of the sentence say, Riley?
Junction of the earth and sky as seen from any specific position.
Yeah, it says it's equating apparent or visible. I agree with you. Apparent or visible are the same thing. But the apparent or visible
which one are we
horizon
seeing,
approximates the
Brenda?
true horizon. We see the apparent horizon, but it approximates the true
Brenda,
horizon.
So wait, hold on, Brenda.
this
Brenda,
out.
are we seeing the apparent horizon or the
Chocolate? Let Sleeping point out contradiction. She's just contradicted herself.
So it says, in general, the apparent or visible junction of the Earth and sky as seen from a specific position. You're distinguishing apparent or visible, but
No.
they're the same.
No, I'm not distinguishing apparent or visible. I agree with you. Those are the same
There's
thing.
two.
I agree with
There's two. You've been on my show, you liar, and told me that there's two. One's apparent and one's visible, refracted.
Correct.
That's two.
So
well, no, it's not correct. There's only one. You've inserted and where it says or. There's not two horizons being described. You're incorrect at a fundamental level because we only experience one. And in this definition, you're wrong. We don't have two horizons, regardless of your blindness and your inability to read English and substitute the word and or for each other.
how many times does the word horizon appear in this sentence we're talking about?
Who cares? We don't have two.
The word horizon appears twice, talking about two different things.
So hold on a second. Hold on. Wait. Can you define the true horizon for us?
Yeah, that would be the geometric horizon.
Okay, can I define it for her?
So wait a second. That is the geometric horizon, correct?
Correct.
On the screen right now from National Geographic. Hold on. From National Geographic on screen right now. The true horizon is the imaginary plane that passes through the center of the Earth, perpendicular to its radius. From orbit, we don't have to go in from orbit because there are no orbits. So the true horizon is the imaginary plane, right?
I don't accept the National Geographic or popular magazines as
that's not National Geographic is a subject matter expert on geography. So
National Geographic.
I accept Andrew Young as the relevant expert here, as you do, and his definition of the geometric horizon
is a thought experiment.
Conflicts.
It does not.
Conflicts with what you.
Okay, show us where it conflicts.
Andrew Young cites geometric horizon as where the apparent horizon would be if there were no refraction, equivalently where the cone with the vertex at the observer's eye and tangent to the sea surface.
So you said the geometric horizon is what? That refracted?
It's where the apparent horizon would be if there were no refraction.
Okay, so it is the horizon that we see because there's only one horizon. The horizon is the refracted horizon, correct?
No.
That's what you just, I'm sorry, you just said that.
No, it's not. No, I did not.
Going around in circles.
Yeah, that's what you just said, Brenda. Yeah.
She's going around in circles.
That's exactly what you just said, Brenda.
It's exactly what you just said. Righteous.
Horizon.
That's false.
She's explaining how her geometric horizon that she doesn't have is refracted. Ergo, not geometric as required by the geometric model. And at the point that you point out to her that she's essentially saying the horizon we see is not geometric, she says no and lies about what she's just said.
Yes.
Righteous. She's done it before.
Yes. Righteous. We're going to move on. That's two lies that I count.
All right, we're going to move on to Dr. Law.
Yes.
Are you there? Dr. Law?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, you want anything to add?
No, I'm just listening. QE, you're killing it, brother. You're killing it. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
And next we'll try looming again.
Yeah, I'm here. Nothing really to add, but just it's funny listening over time. Brenda always saying the same thing and the double speak, but that's not the subject at hand. But no, you guys are doing a good job.
All right,
Well, in a
moving on
way,
to Oblivion. Or
I want to
Chocolate.
add to that. Yeah, in a way, it is the subject at hand, right? Because look how the doublespeak just flows for them now, right? She's fighting for a horizon that's refracted, and then the next sentence says, "But it's not refraction."
No, I agree, but it's a whole community. Our community is so small that you have to. It's an uphill battle all the way. I'm not saying that because it's a smaller community they're wrong. I'm just saying that we've been living this way for so long. We're trying to go against the curve.
Yeah, what curve?
I agree, and I echo Chocolate's sentiments. It is the subject. The fact that they're having to literally lie in a single sitting of being in a conversation, in one conversation, they have to lie multiple times about what their position actually is. It's only a demonstration of how untenable the position has become for them. Now, I hope over time, I've said this before and I'll say it again, that people really start to wake up to this on our own side. At the moment, I don't know what's going on. There seems to be some murmurings and mumblings about people being against us for whatever reason, and I don't care. The argument is all that's relevant here. Not your opinions about us. Doesn't matter. This argument leaves their sphere geometry completely untenable. If that hasn't pricked your ears up and you're a flat earther, then I don't know what will. It literally leaves the globe completely debunked. Now, there's been loads of people out there up until now, flat earthers, who will write in their video description, globe debunked, and it isn't. It's just not true. It's true. Literally true. The globe is debunked. The geometry is untenable. You can't argue the position anymore. Completely debunked. People need to start waking up to this argument.
Chocolate, anything else on that, or can we continue with Righteous?
Yeah, I'm good. I just wanted to point out that, yeah, it is on topic, because when you, like Nathan said, if you don't see it, just listening, or if you don't hear it, just listening to them go back and forth and how devastating that is to their argument, then you still have a lot of catching up to do, flat earther or not.
Oh,
So,
no.
yeah.
I agree with you guys 100%. I'm saying in this forum, it's not an issue. I can bring it up here and it's going to be talked about at.
Yeah, it's cool.
Out.
Righteous.
Yeah, I think we can
All right,
move on. Right.
Oblivion is off mute.
Yeah, it's just crazy. All the rebuttals for finding and discovering curvature result into something that's unattainable. Impossible. You can't see the curve.
All right. Cool Dog Bear.
Hi guys, you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I just made a few notes. I mean, I was just thinking the contradictions are epic. Black Swan's got me in a tailspin. I mean, one of my favorites is the excuse of the Black Swan is bendy crane refraction, aggressive refraction, and but we all know it's about the horizon, the oil rigs, of course. So I think their number one proof is debunked. That years ago they were saying boats going over the edge. That was their number one or number two go-to proof. But I tried not to forget the Behind the Curve film by National Geographic, where it basically was saying that boats and helicopters go behind the curve. So the contradictions are there. We know it, but they're just circle jerking us, really. That's my 2 pence worth, anyway.
Shameless plug. Did you see my National Geographic video that I recently did?
I haven't. No, I don't think so.
Check it out. I'll get to shamelessly plug it. I'm glad you haven't. Check out my National Geographic debunking. they captured a black swan. Get this right. So Mark Sargent, Patricia Steer, all those dudes, globe heads alike, all were at the lake trying to capture a Earth curve physical horizon, obscuring the stripes on this boat that they've paddled out there. And what do they have behind the stripes? Well, they got a horizon. It's absolutely epic.
Yeah.
Everybody check that out. Go and throw it a thumbs up. It didn't get anywhere near as many views as I hoped, but nevertheless, go and check out the National Geographic video.
Yeah, I love that one, by the way, Nathan. Good job finding it. Really great.
Oh, Betty, when I realised it, when the penny dropped, I thought, hang on, have a National Geographic got BALLBUSTER one? Yeah, they have, haven't they? And I checked in BALLBUSTER. Like, excellent.
Yeah,
The thing is,
very good example for cognitive dissonance. I mean, people don't see it, right? We didn't even see it back then, right? So we grow also in our understanding and how we should see things, and it's a great example. Thanks for that.
This is where QE is going to get a lot of props for this, right? Yes, people did absolutely see the horizon behind those flags and point it out. Poland's argument attached to it? No. Did it leave them arguing for a non-physical horizon? No. But it was absolutely seen in the same way as BLMSB 69's video had been seen, highlighted and talked about as a flat earth proof. Goes to go. Once you weaponize the swan, I don't know if the picture on, let's have a look. It's the picture of the weaponized swan on screen. Epic swan, by the way, whoever made that. Is it you, Betty?
Not entirely. It is a composite.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But that, just goes to show that the BLMSB is the evidence, or National Geographic, or a whole number of other people that have recently produced black swan, either from their archives or new. But all of them are the evidence that goes along with the actual argument. Now, the argument is a weaponized black swan. The black swan's an analogy, just a black swan, a plain old black swan. Is the analogy that goes with the argument. But what's on screen now with a knife between its teeth holding a flamethrower, that's the modus tollens formulation of the argument. Becomes its own entity, a weaponized black swan. That's the modus tollens argument. Nobody did it before. Nobody formulated this into the devastating effect that quantum eraser has. So on that National Geographic video, go and check it out. Nathan Oakley 1980. Anyway, on that video, someone had said, I saw this back then. And I thought, yes, so did I. So did a whole bunch of other people, and pointed it out and talked about it on the show. Did it change anything? Did it suddenly mean that we do have a geometric horizon? No, of course we don't have a geometric horizon. We didn't have any of that as a result. But we had the same evidence. It was just a black swan wandering around the battlefield without anybody realizing its importance. It was a pawn on the chessboard. Yeah, it was doing its thing. But was it actually creating havoc? No. Until someone gives it a flamethrower. And that was quantum eraser with this modus tollens argument. So, credit must be given where it's due. The evidence supports the argument. It's not the argument. You don't even need the evidence. You could formulate this modus tollens argument, put it to an opponent without presenting a thing, and it would still hold true.
Yeah, kudos, man.
Thank you.
And I think the National Geographic film is supposed to be a hit piece, wasn't it? And they've actually shot themselves in the foot in the long run, because this argument about whether it's physical or apparent has come back to haunt them, really.
Well, the same happens on most of their arguments, because when they start making hit pieces, not just National Geographic, but ballers in general, when they focus on a particular point and they labour it and make it out to be that such a body is a moron because they got it wrong, obviously that motivates us to have another look at it and see where, because we all know what's going on. We know that we're not living on a ball, and it motivates us to look at it and put more time and effort into it to work out how is it that they got this explanation, and there is a flat Earth explanation for this, an alternative explanation, and all it does is it fuels the fire to work out how have they done this, because it's sleight of hand, like a magician's trick. That's what they're doing. They're using a magician's trick to make it look like one thing, but actually it's the opposite. And it's clever. It really is clever. It's not done by accident. It's done intentionally to confuse, deceive, mislead people, which is why it's a psyop. It's clever.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's all I got anyway, guys. Just crushing it anyway. So,
all right,
cool.
Well,
we move on to what Sleeping Warrior said, which is, it's no, carry on. My bad.
Well, I just think that they don't even concede that something's ambiguous, to say the least. Nothing else. They hold on to this globe like it's a life raft or something. It's crazy. The insanity of it all beyond me. I mean, people are still saying the boats are disappearing over the edge first. You know, we're coming to this new.
Yeah, you're
or
not
something.
you're not
I
going to
don't
hear
know.
boats for much longer.
Crazy, man. Anyway,
What,
guys.
what I was going to add to that, Sleeping Mario, was even though people are going out to debunk that assertion that the Earth is flat, right? So that National Geographic piece specifically was out there with flat earthers trying to debunk us, right in our face, laugh at us in our face, and yet they proved the Earth's not a sphere. Well, what does that tell you? It means even when you're out there trying to debunk it, you're going to inadvertently find out that the Earth's flat. It's obvious, it's observable. But it also tells me something else, that when we get really narrow, a dude like Miles Davis is out with really good cameras, and yet what we get presented was taken from his little snappy shot thing. One picture, no archive data to go with it, nothing, just one snapshot. It's because they're doing the very thing they constantly accuse us of. They've got to go out and really cherry pick their evidence to show that it's a sphere.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because it's always
that is
demonstrating what it is. Sorry.
Yeah, Nathan's absolutely right. They accuse us of cherry picking the most likely one that supports it, right? But they are doing the exact same. That was the epiphany moment I had recently. I realized that they were doing the exact thing that they accuse us of when they go out and get what they call curve pictures or white swans for their arguments, because they have to cherry pick it. I've had it once in loads of times when I've gone out, and it usually looks somewhere in the middle, and you can't decide which way it looks. But more often than not, when it's one or the other, it appears to be flat. But I've only ever had it once, maybe twice, where I've thought, do you know what? That kind of does look a little bit curvy. But that's not the same argument as us cherry picking it no, it's the other way around. It's them that's cherry picking it. Because I often wonder to myself, how is it that somebody like Miles the Liar Davis goes out and gets it looking at that curvy? Is it the appearance that we're looking at that makes it look curvy? Is it the explanation that he's put into it that makes it sound curvy? Because when I go out, I don't get anything like that. I get it. It's like, yeah, that's not as flat as it normally is, but it's definitely not curvy. Yet these guys come back with what looks like slam dunk proofs, and I realised that they got to be cherry picking their supporting evidence, because when I go out and do it, I just don't get that. It's just pure dishonesty in my view. And Nathan's correct; they are cherry picking to suit their argument.
Yeah, I think we're too honest sometimes and against it. But they don't get it. There only has to be one black swan and the whole thing crumbles. But I mean, not that we've only got one, we've probably got thousands, but this one is like the black swan is a killer.
Yeah, that photo is impossible on a sphere Earth. It's just that simple. It's impossible. Sorry, I stepped on somebody.
This is why they try to obfuscate the whole thing, isn't it? They try and concentrate on the oil rigs all the time, and it's like, hello, we're talking about the horizon.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Righteous.
All right, I guess we'll move on to Professor Earl.
What's up, Professor Earl?
Hey, letting you know, Marlena is a good friend of mine. So yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. Did she drop?
Yeah, she dropped. She's a grandmother, and she helps take care of her son, her grandson that has special needs. So yeah.
Yeah, we look forward to talking to her more on the show. I was really impressed. She really caught me off guard that she was actually a pilot. So yeah, I hope she comes back.
Yeah, but every time the funny part about was when there's that one on the horizon where it says to be determined. It reminds me of when you used to look through the TV guide, and it would say that for some TV program.
Yeah.
Okay, what the heck's gonna go there? Like,
it's the chocolate horizon or Anthony's horizon or the Narnia horizon. That's what's going to go there.
Then
yeah.
while I'm listening to Brenda, my brain starts thinking of Will Smith's song "Parents Just Don't Understand." So I start singing as to all people across the land. This is what Brenda doesn't understand. Something like that. I'm not.
That's
I'm
awesome.
not taking a shot at her. Not really, but it, you can't just add something to what you're reading. It doesn't work like that, you know. And it's done. The party's over, you know.
Let me just. Sorry.
Go ahead. No.
Let me just address. Let me just address Hillbilly Blue Balls in chat. He says, when Nathan and his lapdogs, who's the lapdogs, agree that the horizon moves due to refraction, then we can talk. Until then, you guys have to play by their rules that say that that does not happen. Anybody want to pull that one apart?
Hillbilly Blue Balls. You welcome to Flat Earth. If you go by a refracted horizon, then it's by definition not geometric. Your model requires a geometric horizon. Now, there is a link in the bottom of this video right here in the info box. Come on in here. You're clean slated and present your case. We don't want to hear it from chat. Little keyboard warrior, come on in here and present your case, sir. Do not answer anything from chat, Anthony.
You're telling him already. I've told him already. Said it hundreds of times now in the chat. I say it the same way every time. Get a pen, Fundies. Write this down. If the horizon is refracted, it's not geometric. And your model requires a geometric horizon. It's game over. Checkmate. When are you going to get it?
So
9
let me
months.
just put that into Blue Marble's science language. When he says, when Nathan and his lapdogs agree that the horizon moves due to refraction, then we can talk. We agree that the horizon moves to refraction, so we can talk. Hit the link, join, and let's hear you defend your religion. Because we agree. So we'd like to talk. We'll be nice. We won't be aggressive. Let's just hear you state your position and then allow us to pull it apart. Very simple. Please, join.
Righteous.
His position is the horizon is refracted. And like I said about Spurs earlier, when you get to the point that they start arguing for a horizon that's non-geometric, non-physical, you welcome them to flat Earth.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, we got Mr. Squiggly.
Can I,
Oh, yeah, go ahead,
ahead,
Professor Earl. Sorry about that.
okay. No. Also about the part about the ray tracing, which with games that are now using ray tracing in games.
Yes.
I just have a problem with ray tracing in and of itself. Because for me, mentally, how I see the rays, like, from my light, like, it's everywhere going at the same time. So it's not just light beams just one at a time just going off, everywhere and bouncing everywhere. It's all at once. So it doesn't make any dang sense to me.
Agreed. And remember, there's a big difference between the games and reality. We work at the really is level.
Right.
Add something to that.
Yeah, go ahead, Nathan.
And I will go. I'm done.
Thanks, Professor Earl. Appreciate it.
Okay.
About what you said, Professor Earl. So you're talking about RTX technology, ray tracing technology.
Yeah, RTX technology. Which,
all right.
To me, here, can I finish? To me, I think they should have been able to do ray tracing by now. To me, I always didn't think it was all that complex. It would need some different kind of coding language to do it, but they went the. I've always figured there was an easier way of doing, stuff, when it came to something like ray tracing, you know. But yeah.
I was going to say is back in one of my earliest videos, I highlighted the fact that before RTX was a domestic technology, the company that created the current prevalent technology in RTX, which is NVIDIA, were using that technology or displaying its benefits and power by debunking the claims that the moon landings were fake. So they utilized ray tracing technology and graphics cards by NVIDIA to show how the light that was claimed to be debunked by various moon landing debunkers was actually doing precisely what it should be doing. Look, we can do it with ray tracing. Just thought I'd drop that in there.
Right. But they've been doing ray tracing on mobile graphic chips since like the middle of 2000s. Like they've been able to do it. So I'm like, why haven't they been able to? You know what I mean? It's just crazy how things are when it comes to certain things. But anyway, you know, I don't want to become a rambling idiot, you know. So just yeah, I'll listen.
Appreciate
All right,
it.
man. Get your geek on. I love it. Say.
Righteous.
All right, we got Mr. Squiggly next. Not him. We can move on to Steve Alm, see if he's got anything. And if not him, we got one more. Globus Trollins. Let's try him.
Not much more to say, guys, after this. Yeah, like I said, the globe's dead. It's been dead for a while. Yeah, the double speak knows no ends at this point in time. I regularly go into Gem Panda's server and just get them to double speak absolutely all the time. And like I said, it's over. Checkmate. Done. Finished.
Screen name. Before you round out the show, QE, can I plug the Flat Earth Debate Uncut and After Show on my second channel?
Yes, but we're not going to close out just yet. There's a couple more left. We have Q erasing. Hello? Nothing
You're
from
muted.
Hello? Radio check.
It's RC Meisty.
My
Come
word.
on, RC Meisty, don't be shy.
Share your pain, RC.
Why is he here if he's not going to talk, huh?
Yep, go ahead and move him out. We also have, I see down on the bottom right here, it's an equation.
Gjax. Gjax. You're off mute, Gjax.
Share your pain. Say
Just
Globus
spectators.
Trollins. Globus Trollins is a great screen name.
Yeah,
It's
it
epic.
cracked me up, man. Yeah, yeah. Listen, I'm kind of surprised because this is the death knell to the sphere religion, and we don't have people coming in to defend it coherently. You've got some big problems. This isn't going away. I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to let anyone forget about it. As long as I'm taking breath, you're going to hear the black swan. I'm never stopping. I'm just going to do this every single time I go live. How about that?
I just
Are
want
you going to
address,
sing every time?
I don't know about singing every time.
Hmm.
Let me just address Blue Marble Science's response. He says, Jose
Not in
will
chat.
gladly
No. I don't want to
Oh.
address it, Anthony. No. There is
Okay.
a link underneath this video. He can click that link and come in here and defend the Sphere Earth religion. He can champion it. I don't want it from chat.
Come on,
Do you
Blue
have
Marble
a super
Science.
chat from chat?
Go ahead.
Come
Let's do
on, Hillbilly Blue Balls.
Go ahead, Betty.
Ik had a super chat from Mason B, and that was when the time when Brenda was here. Shout out to Bully Boy Brenda. QE, great presentation.
Thanks,
I
Mason
don't
B.
know if we are agreeing with the Bully Boy Brenda thing, but okay.
Appreciate that, Mason P. Anyone else in here righteous
I don't think so.
that you can see? Okay, let's get final thoughts. Arwen, you're up, sir.
Subscribe to Flat Earth Early Bird on the Arwen channel.
I could think of a way to explain this for you. You can win the argument.
Kind of disagree with everything you say, and now I'm going to criticize it surreptitiously and also overtly at the same time.
and then I'm going to rage quit. And not speak to anyone for three weeks.
Let's give him a proper plug. Right. ARWIJN. Arwin is the name of his channel. He streams every single day at the same time. 2 p.m. Amsterdam time, 1 p.m. UK time, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. Flat Earth Early Bird. Be here or be sphere on the Arwin channel. He's not here to plug his own channel, so I'll do it for him.
Anthony, final thoughts, sir. Mic discipline, please. Mic discipline.
I guess my final position is these guys still don't really understand the argument. And although some of them do and can recite it after a babbled language attempting Swahili language, they kind of half get there by the end of it. Until they can recite the argument, we can't really progress the argument. So if the ballers really want to defend or attack this, you're going to have to start by getting the definitions of the words, the use of the words that are being used right. Don't be talking about the platforms. Don't be talking about what you claim is loads of refraction. Just get the argument right, and then we can have the conversation. Because I still think that most of these ball-tards don't even understand the argument. They're acting as though they understand it. They're telling people they understand it, but they can't recite it. So how can you demonstrate understanding if you don't actually recite the argument accurately? Come on, guys, it's not hard. If you guys can prove that we live in a sphere, the least you can do is cite the argument back to us. And then we can have a conversation. Oh, and we all agree that the horizon's apparent. Game over.
Thanks, Anthony, for restating that. Yes, I will stress that again. I stressed it in the presentation. Right from Jump Street, they have to restate the argument against them. That means the actual argument, the modus tollens. No shortcuts, not what they think or believe. You have to get them to restate the argument. It is a reasonable request. Thanks, Anthony. Appreciate it. Thanks for stressing it.
It's actually the same for the flat earthers as well, because there are people on our side that still don't really get it. And those that don't get it or don't like supporting it, that's fine. But if you're going to argue against it or dismiss it or dilute it, at least tell us the argument back so that we know that you're diluting it based on the argument we say, rather than based on the argument that we're not saying. Thank you.
Precisely, Anthony. Thanks. Chocolate, final thoughts, sir.
I will say that maybe I'm giving too much credit here, but I think a lot of them do understand the argument, regardless of whether they restate it back to us or not, because I think just restating it back to us is devastating in itself. And they get that. And that's why now, all of a sudden, we've got 3 horizons that we have to argue about. We have to even call it the redundant apparent horizon. And we hear things like the geometric horizon has never been seen due to us having atmosphere. Things like that. All those things, when I hear that, it makes me think they do get it. And they have to dance around it because it's too devastating. So they have to dance around it. They can't just state it back to us because they understand that there is no rebuttal to this. So they'll play and they'll bob and weave and just, come up with whatever else they can, talk about bendy crane refraction and all this other nonsense. But they know, at the end of the day, they understand The geometric horizon, like Andrew Thomas Young said, is a thought experiment. And they know because they say, we've never seen it. Well, if we've never seen it, what are we calculating for? What's the calculator we've been using all this time for? What? Please explain that to me. I'd love to know.
Jocko, I
Yep.
need to ask, where have you got experience of these guys accurately reciting it back? Because I've not heard this. Just name drop, because I want to know who's getting it right, because I've not heard it.
I didn't say anybody got it right. I said whether they understand it or not, it's devastating enough just to actually recite it back to us because they know there's no rebuttal. That's why they have to say, oh, we don't see the geometric horizon. Or it's
Right.
the horizon that we do see is just apparent now. Right?
Yeah.
Because they get it.
Yeah.
They do get it. But, I mean, I know a lot of them don't. But a lot of them do.
Just remember, a lot of them are debunking a straw man argument and then claiming debunks on that, right? That's not
What's the straw man? The math?
I've heard the mark.
The math of their required geometric horizon that the geometry of their model requires? That's a straw man? Well, that's what we've been telling them all this time. There is no geometry to your model. That's it. Yeah. It's a done deal. It's a wrap. Smoke them if you got them. Globe is done.
Well, there's no geometry in the real world. There will always be the model in their minds, but in the real world, it doesn't really touch down now, does it?
No, it doesn't. Final thoughts, Arwen?
No, just there's really no more to add. I think the whole show is just very self-explanatory at this point. So, Black Swan.
Black Swan. 10th, final thoughts, sir.
Yeah, their model requires a geometric horizon. Their model is not reality. That's why they say model. In reality, there is no geometric horizon. It's an apparent horizon. And back to 5 years ago, they would argue with flat earthers about the geometric horizon obscuring ships from the bottom up, and now they're arguing like flat earthers, saying it's apparent. I think the roles have changed.
Yeah.
Nathan, sir, final thoughts.
Oh, I've got 3. I want to back up Sleeping Warrior first of all. I know Chocolate's probably right, but nevertheless, I want to hear the argument first because I don't think they get it at all. If they did, if they could recite the argument, it would imply that they understood it, and I honestly don't think they do. So that's my first point. Second, I'm going to repeat because I say it in chat so many bloody times. I'm going to say it here, and then I've got one more point afterwards. And I'm going to give everyone a moment. Go and get a pen, especially you fundies. Get a pen. Go and grab one. Write this down. If the horizon is refracted, it's not geometric. Your model requires a geometric horizon. And just in addition, for all those claiming, as Anthony's just said, it as a straw man, the mathematics, it's marked with an X on Metabunk Curve Calculator and labeled Horizon. Last but not least, all of you in the live chat, go and check out Nathan Oakley channel and subscribe if you've not done so already. I'm about to hit 5,000 subscribers. There is a show that will start. I'll premiere it immediately as soon as this live show ends. So I'll spam the link into the chat. If you're watching live, go and check it out. It'll start as soon as we finish this show. Thank you very much. And kudos. Excellent presentation. Thank you very much for having me, as always, Quantum Eraser.
Thank you, sir. The beautiful Betty. Last but certainly not least. Final thoughts and any admin.
No thoughts and no admin. But it's concise, I think.
You have to have some more thoughts. I'm not ready to end yet.
Too short for you. You need me to sing, maybe. Turn out the lights. The party's over.
They say that all good things must end. Turn out
Benny,
the
I like it a lot more when you sing it.
lights.
The party's over.
All right, guys, hold on 1 second before I show my OBS prowess that I didn't show in the beginning. Sorry about that Jimi Hendrix reverberation, but hey, you'll have that sometimes, and we all love Jimi Hendrix, don't we? All right, listen, guys. Take this #1 ball killer and give it to everyone you know, because the ball stops here.